And it says that we're live. So, hello.
Hi.
Hello to
Hi,
everyone.
guys.
So, if everything's working according to plan, you should hear me, you should hear Kelly, who's sitting right next to me, and you should hear Remy right now as well.
Who's sitting very far away from us.
Yeah, sitting very far away, but
Sadness.
now there's a strong possibility that some of our audio levels. Oh, I hear it now coming through. Okay. So there's a strong possibility that some of our audio levels might be a bit like too much or something.
We didn't
so,
have Remy up very high.
Yeah, Remy's looking like he could be potentially loud. You guys let us know if everything sounds good. I'll get us a little background music too, so you can make sure that that sounds good as well.
Do something like lo-fi.
No,
It's so
we're literally
gentle.
playing this game today,
But then we're going to hear a whole lot of that music.
so it's good music.
Kelly,
Too
you
loud.
will understand that there are people who are fans of this game who absolutely adore the music in this game. I am one of them.
I don't hate the music, it's just, well, I guess I can listen to some songs over and over and over again.
Perfectly fine. You're excited. We're excited too. We're very excited to do this. We've wanted to do this for a while, so.
I've never played the game, so I'm excited to play it.
Yes, that's true. It is Kelly's first time experiencing this game. She knows a little bit about it just from the stuff people have said and stuff she's seen in our game in Titanic Voyage, but this will be her first time actually experiencing the proper game in full. And also, we're looking to start in about 10 minutes. We just opened it up a little early to let people start coming in and chatting with us or whatever. But we are going to wait until the official start time of 1 p.m.
We could do
Eastern.
an impromptu 10-minute Q&A.
Yeah, if anyone's got any questions or anything for us, we've got 3 of us here right now. Just the pitch slightly deeper. That's possible.
We hit puberty, and
It could also just be that we have different mics and the qualities might be different or something. I don't know. As long as it's not we're Officers Moro's binoculars. We might find them. We might not. Who knows? I think I remember where they are. I haven't played this in probably like 2 years now. I still know it pretty well.
I haven't
But I
played
think-
this in 26 years.
Yeah, she's never played it. And I think Remy's probably the one who knows the most about the game out of all of us. So
I haven't played this in a good bit, but it's like, for me, it's like riding a bike. I get back into the game and it's go time, and it's like I know exactly what I'm doing. So
yeah.
Well, based
We're
on
gonna-
what you were
we're-
saying
I gotta-
yesterday, you're like the Wikipedia for it.
we are going to let Shane and Kelly be the pilots, and I'm kind of gonna sit back, be Mr. Encyclopedia, give you guys fun facts and interesting tidbits about the game, about the process. If you have been
Aye.
lucky enough to join us the past, it was probably years 8 and 9 Titanic Voyage. We actually had Liz Bryan and Joe Lesh actually in the game with us, and they were actually more than happy to give interesting tidbits about how they went in and they filmed the Fort Charles in Georgia. So stay tuned for more information. Actually, I can go ahead. I'll just go ahead and talk about that now. If no one minds.
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
I
So,
enjoyed
from what-
having them join us.
From what Joe told me, it was very. I mean, they went in. They went in and they recorded. They literally were put in front of a camera. They recorded lines. What's different about what happened in the game is that it's them that you're seeing all dolled up, and they were actually never put into costume. That was actually stuff done after they filmed, if I'm remembering all of this correctly. However, both Georgia both Georgia and Charles have different voices. So if you're hearing, if you ever talk to Joe on, because I actually talked to him on Skype, I was shocked to hear that it was not his. I was like, wait, that's not the speaking voice in the game. He's like, no, they dubbed over.
That's interesting.
You look the part, but you don't sound the part.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Nine viewers.
So that's how they actually got everything filmed in game. So I'm trying to remember from the credit list. I think there was a cast of people who filmed, who you actually see as face characters, and then there was a cast of people who recorded voice work. The only problem is the way they did the credits is all you have are names, unless I think it was the Titanic Out of Time blog that did a lot of detective work and was able to figure out a good chunk of some of the face characters. The now defunct Titanic Adventure Out of Time blog, I should say.
It's kind of interesting. You wonder why they wouldn't just have them do the voices too. But...
If you don't got the voice for the job.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or if the directors have a certain image
they
want. Hello.
Time are we at? We got about 4 minutes left. I could probably... don't want to... No, then we'll get that looping... We'll get that looping, like, 5-second intro song for... That'll drive people crazy.
What an official-looking launcher.
Yeah. This was... the setup that Daniel actually made many years back. I still prefer running it this way.
Now you can actually get
version, I have the Steam version, but it doesn't run that well for me, so I prefer this way still.
You can get it off Steam, and it's also on Good Old Games.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Or it used to be called Good Old Games. It's now GOG.com.
Oh, GOG. I didn't know that's what that was for. They email me a lot. It's very annoying.
I actually got the full set of Myst games for like half off.
That reminds me. Oh, my chair is making a lot of noise now.
Myst games. Ooh, I've heard a lot about them. But
I have the Myst games. I haven't finished the first one, but I was playing it.
Yeah, I've never actually played them, but I know about
them. If you take time, sit down, play them. They're good. They're really good.
I remember really enjoying the first one as far as I got, but I haven't finished it.
Everyone's always like, "Oh, they're amazing games. You need to play them." I just haven't ever gotten around to it.
But I don't remember what it is on GOG that I got, but they have emailed me for like 5 years, like almost every day.
What do you think? 12:58 close enough? Good to get started. I mean,
why not? Let's get this on a roll.
I think. Do you have the streaming video like we did yesterday?
I do.
Okay, then we should all be set. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Then why not? Let's just jump right in. So I'm going to have to shift the screen a little bit real quick because I can make it look a whole lot better than this for you guys. So give me 1 sec. Drag it into proper position. And still should go over a little more, I think, right?
Yep. Teeny bit more.
Kind of like that. It's the best way I could find to actually get this streaming. I still wish I could make it like full screen, but it's so old that if you stretch it out too much, it looks bad. So we have black bars on the side. Hopefully that's not too irritating. But anyway, here we are.
Ooh, we're gonna hit game mode for the first time.
Yeah, you've only ever seen me click tour mode before.
This is exciting.
So, is there anything you want to say before we jump in, or should we just jump right in?
Well, I say we just jump right in. I can narrate as we go along.
Let's do it.
Today's top stories. London has endured another night
Get rid of this help bar first.
Most damage was concentrated in the East End. The RAF.
So we are in London, April 14th, 1942. This is the end of the Second World War. We actually were a special agent who was tasked on Titanic to complete a mission and failed miserably. We now live in this rundown apartment.
Yeah, and I like how the opening of this game kind of just puts you in this environment, and it doesn't really explain all of that to you. It just has little clues about that kind of scattered about. So you're kind of left to just poke around the apartment and sort of piece stuff together yourself.
What's funny? What's funny about us owning Futility is that we'll talk about that here in a second. Go ahead and open the door. This is good.
London has endured another night of German bombing. Most damage was concentrated in the East End. The RAF has struck enemy aircraft.
And she'll just keep shouting that every time we open the door.
In Russia, German
I do want to turn subtitles on as well before I forget. So we got a lot to see on this table here. Just keep shouting that.
See here, this isn't about your dedication. Pringle certainly attests to your loyalty. No, your dismissal stems from the Titanic mission. That failure can no longer be ignored, especially now. I am sorry, but someone must shoulder the blame. The service is done. We can't be held responsible.
I like down here you've got a ticket for the Hindenburg as well.
Ooh.
Seems like we might.
It's been in several disasters.
Yeah, we might have a bit of bad luck.
I love the Hindenburg. That's because I love that steampunk aesthetic, though.
So real quick, so if you noticed, we actually owned a copy of Futility. For those of you who are not in the know, Futility was written several years before the actual event of Titanic happened, and yet historians and English literature readers, I mean, you name it, they look at that. I mean, it's a story. It is literally not a book. It is literally like maybe just a very short story. It's a fun read. It really is. But the author actually writes about this ship called the Titan. It's almost eerily identical to Titanic in every way, shape, and form. It hits a lifeboat in the middle of the Atlantic and sinks, killing everyone aboard. And they look back at Futility, or AKA the Wreck of the Titan, and they actually said, "You predicted this," and he's like, "No, I didn't." And what's actually even more funny is then he went on to write a book about a naval battle, a naval attack at a naval base in the Pacific several years before Pearl Harbor.
I didn't know that last part. That's funny.
Yes, he actually wrote about in a attack on a naval base by a foreign country, and it's like, okay.
If I missed anything on the desk.
What was the tarot card? I didn't get to see it.
Oh,
Hey Shane, could
the death card?
Oh.
Yeah.
that is the boat pass. Could you hold on for just 1 minute?
Yep.
I need to go run do something real quick, and I will be right back.
Yep, no worries.
Le Morte.
We can... I always have trouble reading the writing on this one. Not so much because it's in cursive, but because...
Having a great time. Something ran into Jack
in Bombay.
Yeah. Or maybe Pompeii? Where is this from? Oh, Bombay, maybe, yeah. He's worried about you. Says he hasn't heard from you since you left the...
Clinic?
clinic. I told him you're...
Repairing clocks.
repairing clocks, I see. Are you...
Now word I cannot make out. Are
Yes.
you...
Looks like an S.A. something...
You don't remember this one? Yeah, this one... I typically don't even look at it, but... Are you... I can't make this... Anyone can make that word out. But I can't.
Are you something?
Are you something such...
Such as odd...
Such an odd...
Such an odd... Yeah, such an odd...
choice.
For someone with
your
your
skills.
skills. Talk to some... Daddy? Is that Daddy?
Hit the menu when the air raid siren starts.
That might be when something... It's getting more illegible down here.
See, this is why I have trouble reading this one. Are you still as in still repairing clocks?
I see. Of course Dean knows.
Talk to someone when something... It's like that last sentence as a whole.
When blah 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 with his blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Remy's still away.
Yep.
I mean, he knows
I
what
didn't
happened.
get to read the pig one.
Oh, you didn't get to read the pig one?
No, I was listening to Remy.
Okay, there you go.
Heard you're back from France. Hope you'll even the score yet with the bat. Ooh, that's a bad word. Who fired you? Sorry I bring it up with you, but think you were... Oh man, this is so pixely. It's hard to read.
I think you were treated horribly.
No references, no pension. What will you do next? Keep me posted. It's easier to read on this screen.
I had a request to open the menu by Mr. Jake. So here's the menu for you, Jake. And now can't inspect anything else. Remy's gonna miss the bombing run.
We are very unlucky.
The past, forever locked in regret. But what if the past could be changed? service needed someone on the Titanic. They chose me. I was to wait for a signal from my contact.
Turn up the audio.
So
Yep.
I remained in my cabin. I left only once Georgia was on board.
I'll do it after this segment because I think I need to
No second chance.
tab out, and I think that'll kill all the audio.
Too late, you see, for the Titanic, for me.
But yeah, I can turn it up for you
What
guys.
if I'd met with my contact, prevented disaster? What if the past could be changed? What then?
Ah!
I was like how it goes down to like F deck, even though we're on C deck. Okay, let me fix the audio, or hopefully fix it. It should be a bit louder now, I hope.
Is that Remy?
Oh yeah, Remy, you back?
I'm back.
Hey,
I'm back.
our house got blown
I
up.
see I missed the explosion.
Yeah,
Where most people die, the others get thrown back into a time portal.
yep. We're unlucky, but I guess we're also lucky at the same time.
I didn't get to read the. You click these
I-
things too fast.
Well, that's just a menu.
I'm interested in food.
Well, then
It
may I
actually
recommend
is
for you
actual-
the Waldorf pudding?
That actually is the menu that they served on April 14th.
Yes, this is the real menu.
That actually is
So-
that actually is the historically correct. That is not just words thrown on a page.
I just have to say one thing. It's not Waldorf pudding. But when I was in England, we ordered Yorkshire pudding. And when it arrived, they put in front of us some bread. And we went, what the hell is this? And they're like, that's your Yorkshire pudding. And we looked up and we said, how do you eat it? And the woman just went, you just get in at it. And we were like, but this isn't pudding.
Okay.
Good evening. I am Smethels, your steward, and if I may say so, it is good to see you up and about. You've been in your cabin the whole voyage. A touch of the mal de mer, was it? Seasickness can be quite unpleasant, especially if it's one's first crossing. Since you haven't been out of your cabin, may I instruct you on how to get assistance while on board the Titanic? Very well. Your correspondence. 2,200 on board, and they all want messages delivered promptly. Even if it is 1912, and the Titanic, the most advanced means of sea conveyance ever devised, I still have only two hands. Here, a map of the ship for you. Compliments of the White Star Line. I have taken the liberty of indicating your cabin, C-73. Of course, on a Sunday evening at this hour, there won't be many people out. Will there be anything else? A young lady. A most insistent young lady. The electric camel. An exercise device. They say it is good for the liver. I wouldn't know. It's located in the gymnasium, on the boat deck, on the starboard side. That's the right side, in case you had not been informed.
I'm being yelled at for my pudding knowledge.
Most certainly. Remember the term forward. It means towards the front, or bow, of the ship. The term aft refers to the Titanic's back, or stern. Have you unpacked? You'll find your trunk key in your bag, on the bed. If you require additional assistance, please ring the bell by the door. Good night.
So we were dumped on here 9:30.
And sensitive. It's a challenge. To open up our trunk. And there's several things we can find in our trunk.
Click all the buttons.
I can't click anything yet. Sorry. Got this as well.
It's broken. Let's bring a broken. Oh, no, it's not broken.
His Majesty's government has assigned an agent of the Crown to rendezvous with you on board the Titanic. Remain in your cabin until your contact gives you further instructions. After completion of all your assignments on board, book passage to remain on the ship and return to Southampton for your next assignment. For a more in-depth report of the international situation in the spring of 1912, please review the white paper included as part of this briefing. That is all.
I like that we're keeping like our mission assignment just casually in our
trunk.
yeah.
Where is that briefing at? It's one of these. There it is.
Oh, there's our briefing. No wonder we're a bad spy or whatever we are.
So you can read all this, and it does offer a lot
That's a lot to read.
of information on the situation going on in this game.
Remy, what's it say?
Literally, don't get this right, and there will be war.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. So we've got to go to the
TLD, TLDR, get this right or there's war.
Thank you.
We do love this corridor. Remember we were talking about yesterday, we really like the corridors in this game. So, is there anything I should do before going to the gymnasium, I mean, or should I just get straight there? What do you think?
If you want to go back to the second class, or the first class, first class aft grand staircase.
Okay.
You can actually go forward. Nope, go back.
Go back.
Nope, back down to C deck. Take
Oh.
you right there. You can talk. We can introduce our first
Fine
character.
night to be indoors, cold as the dickens outside. Cold but clear.
Who are you?
Clear as a bell, and the stars, oh, you should see 1,000,000 stars in God's firmament. A congregation of light. The name's Trout, the Reverend Edgar Trout. I'm returning from a mission in Africa, to Sunapee, New Hampshire, where I live. Emily, my wife, she's dead. Thank
Did
you.
you kill her?
We had looked forward to this journey, but she died at Port Said. Though it was Nyasaland that killed her, the doctors, never did find all the parasites. We've just ended a hymn sing in the second-class lounge. It's the Titanic's first Sunday afloat.
Hope it won't be the last. Goodbye.
For all those in
He
peril on
laughed.
the sea. Tell me, are you religious?
Nope. None of your
Well,
business.
good evening. Wait, before you leave, I was wondering, perhaps you'd care to make a donation to our mission in Nyasaland.
I forget, do you have to say certain things then to get the...
I would say yes.
Yeah, okay.
I am very happy. I shall call upon you tomorrow to discuss it. Good evening.
There's no tomorrow.
Because that was one thing, I know the characters kind of remember how you talk to them in this game, and certain times
Wow,
they'll
that's
give
so
you...
advanced for this time.
yeah, they might give you a harder time if you're mean to them. Is there anyone else here?
If you go into the cafe, you actually can run into Zeidel and Willie right now. You just won't be
Really?
able to talk to them.
The gay man. Well, he's not gay, but I think he's gay.
I believe it is not correct form
Early
to speak to
Seidel.
those who have not been introduced. Good night.
He's got pretty eyes.
See, I never even knew
Ow.
you could do all this. I usually just go straight to the gymnasium.
Nope, explore a little bit before you start into the main. Yeah, out on the ADAC corridor, you actually can run into Max. Walking one of the
It's my
deck.
spot on the.
Where's your spot? There he is. I see him.
He's running away. Get him.
He literally. There are times that it look like they're running.
Riviera broke me. Damned Frenchman. What do you want? Health nut, are you? It's on the boat deck. Above us. Yeah, it's a night, all right. A regular night to remember.
Ooh, nice line. I forgot about that.
Yeah, nice little reference there. Here we got someone.
Oh,
Is this dude?
hello. Don't think we've met. I'm Leyland Sekum Trask, metaphysical scribe and evangelist for the supernatural. I've been in London attending a conference on premonitions among the sensitive. Sensitives, or psychics, possess increased powers of perception. A gifted psychic can take a personal effect from a complete stranger and tell you all about them. There's a range, of course, but given the right training, psychics can reveal information hidden to others. This is a ship of destiny, which I think you know.
You can have him do readings of your various items, and he'll tell you more about them and give you hints.
I'm sorry, I'm getting no reading at all, not even faintly.
For non-important
Good
items,
night.
he'll typically just say that. Yeah, you can look at the clock. And a strange zoom.
In case you want to admire it.
Yeah, but the last one's like above the clock. Is there anyone else we're missing, Remy, before I go?
Hold on, give me a second to think. I don't think there's anyone, I mean, other than Officer Morrow that should be by the wireless,
We'll
but...
get to him normally, though.
Hey.
Glory be. It's about time. You're late. Another 5 minutes and I'd have cancelled your mission. What a botch up. Some idiot in the War Office booked me into second, not first class. And I've had a fine time of it, too. The crew wouldn't let me in the first cabin at all. It's just today I located you. Yes, I'm Pringle. Penny Pringle. From the Bureau of Secret Service. You didn't think they'd plunk you down on this bucket of bolts and millionaires alone, did you? Look at this. A German colonel named Zeitel. He's inspecting their embassies in Havana, Washington, and Mexico City.
Kinda.
We know better.
Yeah, we bumped into him.
10 days ago, the Bureau got word that Zeitel has in his possession a priceless copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, stolen 2 months ago in Paris after its purchase by a very highly placed member of His Majesty's government. The Rubaiyat's a book, a collection of medieval Persian poetry, a passion of his lordship's. Poetry. Persians. The German High Command must think it's important enough to have their top man smuggle the lot on board. It's your job to find out. His lordship's watching this very closely. Very closely indeed. I wouldn't fumble this chance either, unless you fancy spending the rest of your career in some grotty Midlands back office shuffling paper about. Have you seen the report? In your trunk? On the international situation? I'd jolly well read it if I were you. No. He's with a protégé. Name of Heidelitz, I believe. The two spend a great deal of time in the Café Parisien. Nibbling pastries. Get into the wireless room. I don't know or care how. Officer Morrow wouldn't let me in. See if Zeitel's received or sent any telegrams about the Rubaiyat. You've got a cryptograph in your trunk. It'll unscramble the German codes for you. You use the brains God gave you. Watch people. Listen. When you find the
It was actually this game that inspired me to actually sit down and read the Ruby Light, and it was actually a fun read.
Cabin F, 34.
Not when you're,
Use the second class
14.
stairs. You should be set. Remember, this is
I
your
was
big
12 and I
chance.
still enjoyed it,
Don't
but of course
Well-
then I was also weird.
You're like a history buff. I'm science, so.
Yeah. I wonder why they would include a boxing mini thingy in here.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have to punch somebody?
Strange.
We might.
Ooh! Fun. This is a fighting game? How is that supposed to be exercise? I mean, I guess riding a horse is difficult. I used to own a horse. His name was Chester.
Probably start making saves to,
First save.
yeah, first. Just in case we ever mess something up, so we have points to go back to. In case it crashes or something. So now we've got our objective, but we really have no idea of how to go about it. At least we wouldn't.
As you can
We've
see,
already
the
played this
clock
game.
has now advanced 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've jumped forward a little bit. Time moves forward over a period of significant events. To meet the lift boy.
I'm the lift attendant, and you'll not find one better at taking you where you want to go.
I found
Where
one
to?
better. His name is Frost, and Shane killed him.
I'm the man to ask.
So he'll tell you how to get anywhere you want to go.
I guess he wasn't a lift attendant, was he?
The grand stairs. Why, mate, you're right behind them. On the other side of the lift. 5 flights, there eyes, from D to boat deck. Where do you need to go?
No, he probably thinks we're in.
Wrong.
Suit
They
yourself.
actually went.
Nice.
They actually go from E deck to
Yeah.
the
That is
boat
true.
deck.
He's acting like a big know-it-all. He's all wrong.
A jerk. The music
So-
changed.
I think. Okay. So how should we go about this room? What should we do?
You
Well,
promised me
do we
puzzles.
want to go ahead and
Should
do
we
you want to go ahead and go up to the boat deck and talk to Officer Morrow?
Probably. I think that's typically how I solve this one. So we could just jump right up to the boat deck. Don't have to run all the way back up. Oh, I'm on the wrong side.
We can also. No, do you want to go talk to Georgia?
Yeah. She's back here.
You came after all this time. It's Georgia. I'd heard you on board. Where have you been?
Who are you?
You're mistaking me. Yeah, you can make her really mad by pretending you don't even recognize her.
It's been 5 years. I'd have waited a lot longer to see you again. Why didn't you tell me where you'd gone? Dina hadn't a clue, nor did Jack. My letters were returned. Just like you to show up now, with everything such a beastly mess. You must help me. You've no doubt heard the rumors. I won't deny most of them. I can't. Even if the money's gone, I won't give the diamonds to Charles. Never. These are all that remains. My insurance for a new life without Charles or Saoirse. Saoirse, the owner of the Barbican Gallery. We're friends, of a sort. He's sailing on the Titanic, taking some paintings to New York to sell. Please. I mustn't talk any longer. Take it. Take the necklace. It's my only chance now. Keep it for me. And don't tell Charles you have it. You can't know what he's like.
Whoa.
Yeah, so now I've been given a nice fancy necklace.
It's ugly.
I'm glad you hate it. I'm on the wrong side of the boat deck again. So Officer Morrow should
Come
be
here.
wondering. Oh, wait a sec.
What do you know? You again. Don't you love the sea air? Really clears out the sinuses. Max Seidelman. Philadelphia, PA. Buyer for Haymaker's department store. The Sharpie of Spruce Street, they call me. What's eating you anyway? You're always in a rush. Relax, will ya? Take Max's advice. Get over it. Sure, you lose sometimes. Yell. A little. Don't dwell. You a sporting type? You look like the sporting type. Come on down to the smoking room for a nightcap. Riviera's looking for someone to play a few hands of blackjack with him. What do you say?
This guy's
Not
sleazy.
much else to do. Not tonight. Brr. Cold as a
I was hoping you
cast
would
iron
say that.
commode. So, what do you say?
We can call him out on being a sleazebag, but it would be nice.
Great. First, let's swing by the Parisian Cafe. There's a man there named Untitled, a German. Claims he's a businessman, but he's got something up the sleeve, all right. I know the type, believe me. Dollars to donuts, he's in some racket. So come with, why don't you? We'll hit the smoking room from there. Hey, Colonel, how you doing? Willie, like you to meet a friend.
A pleasure. Hedilitz and I, we welcome diversion during such an uneventful passage, don't we, Willie?
Certainly.
Willie is at the University of Vienna, dissecting children's fables.
Cultural mythology, it's quite interesting. So only a junior professor, I tried to interest Dr. Freud. He's a genius, and
Yes, I am sure, quite. On the passenger list,
Why are
it
you
says
so
you
mean to
embarked at
Willie?
Cherbourg. Yet I have not seen you with the others. You were there, were you not? I see. You are British. Not so many of you in Titanic's first cabins. These days, most of the rich are Americans. Businessmen like Max. Tell me, why do you go to New York? Business. How interesting, considering the British are not so good at it.
Man, this guy's a dick.
Me? Inspecting our embassies. Imperial Germany desires to make a good impression in North America. Willie is continuing on, to the west, to conduct research on Aboriginal customs.
the Indians, they are fascinating.
Yes, yes. However, I place faith in science, not superstition.
The Colonel was saying this wireless stuff's revolutionizing everything. Sending messages to each other. It's the end of books and newspapers.
Like the Titanic, a technological triumph. Here we dined in comfort while racing along at 20 knots. It's still tied to the outside world by the wireless.
That reminds me, Colonel Seitel, when I go to send you a telegram, they told me it was to be delayed. There are too many messages. The passengers...
I am sure our guests do not care to hear a detailed discussion of your encounter with telegraphy. Now, if you will excuse me...
Please, excuse us.
Won't you call on us tomorrow? Here, in the cafe. The Linz are torts quite passable for a British ship. Stop by. Willie and I welcome it most heartily.
Yes, most heartily.
And before I leave, you must allow me to give you some advice. But do not wander the ship. It is not good, I think, on a ship as big as the Titanic. Good night, friends.
Good night.
See? What did I tell you? What did I say? Them too. Up to something, I'd say. The brainy kid gives me the creeps. What a grind. He should hang out with that little blonde. She's a looker, I tell you. Come on, let's hit the smoking room. I'll introduce you to Riviera. What do you say? Great. Go on up. I gotta see a man about a horse. I'll meet you in a few minutes. Goodbye.
And then on the table, they left behind their pipe, which can be used as one solution to the puzzle we're currently in. The mystery, whatever you want to call it.
Is this lady?
But my dear, it's Daisy, Daisy Cashmore. Surely you remember. Oh, you a naughty thing. Don't think I didn't know you'd snuck on at Cherbourg. Smethels told me all about it. The old boy's always dripping with news. Heard about Lord and Lady Lambeth. Ruined utterly. Scarcely enough left for appearances, I'm told. I always liked Georgia. Married Charles for his name and his fortune, sensible girl. But she's made her nest. Now she must live in it. Well... What do we think? Gorgeous, isn't it? Everyone's raving, gushing. The Titanic couldn't be more fabulous. And the sailing couldn't have been more convenient. Everyone's here. The Astors, the George Wideners, the Countess of Ross, such a wonderful girl. The Strausses, I saw them on D-deck tonight. The Ryersons, the Henry Harpers. I could just go on and on. And the ship's so very advanced. I was just saying to my dear friends, the Carters, they're bringing back a motor car, do you believe, in the cargo hold. Bill Carter checks it daily. Really, every day. He keeps the keys with the purser. And of course they let them. The Carters are fantastically rich. Lucille doesn't understand the attraction
As
at all.
I was about to say, as much
With
as you
men
think
and
she's
machines,
rambling
I
on,
tell
she
my
actually
wee
is
girls
giving you
play
several
second
hints in
fiddle.
this.
Yeah.
Well,
If you pay attention to her ramblings, they
my
do help
dear,
out.
I have a little favor. A tiny one. Tonight at dinner, a man I don't know was making eyes at me. Be an absolute darling and find out who he is. Look him up in the passenger list. All I know are his initials, GQC. The list's someplace. Find it. I'll wait right here. Ta!
So I guess we can do a little favor for her real quick. Just go to the purser's office to look up information about a passenger.
Yes, can I help you? As purser, I arrange dinner reservations, rent deck chairs, the usual shipboard duties.
Passenger list.
Have you a name? If you do, I can tell you their cabin number. Let me check. Aha, Mr. George Quincy Clifford, A27. I live to serve.
That was that easy just to stalk
That's
somebody
all
back
then, is
then?
it? Good night.
Evidently. Just go ask the purser, they'll tell you.
Yes, I like a passenger with the initials
To be fair,
F.
if you ask about
PQ.
like Bruce's or important people like that, if he doesn't tell you until you just move on.
That's her.
Oh yeah, right. Ran right by her.
Did you get it? Get his name? Clifford. Clifford. Never heard of him. You don't suppose he's rich, do you? You're an angel, and I've news for you, too. While you were gone, Andrew Conkling's been asking for you. Yes, Conkling, the steel baron. God knows what he's been doing in Europe, buying it probably. And where was I? Oh, yes. Andrew Conkling asked me to pass along this. You know his wife Beatrix, the designer. Such an eye! Her clothes preserve the bust line. Couldn't be more flattering. Keeps the eye moving. Much nicer than Worth's. They're friends with Captain Smith. Smith! So handsome, so dashing. White Star's best officer, or was.
She's such a
He's
thirsty
retiring
lady.
after this voyage. Couldn't be more tragic. My dear, you've blanched. Bad news? Certainly, certainly, I must... It's Mrs. Burbank! Consuelo!
She's great. I love her.
She's interesting. So
Oh
we've
my
already kind
gosh.
of gotten one of our side quests, I guess I could call it. Just going to meet Andrew.
I was about ready to say there are two side quests. There's the Lambeth side quest and there's the Congoing side quest.
Yep, and we've kind of been introduced to both of them now. So that's cool.
Let me introduce you to Buick Riviera. Remember, he's French, and you know what they're like. Come here.
Good evening, mon ami. Buick Riviera welcomes you to the tables. I am always delighted to play with friends of Max. You look familiar. We make a meeting before? Deauville? The casino at Monaco? New Mexico. I lived there once. In Diamondback. Such a town. So, have we met?
The reference he is making is to another Cyberflix game called Dust.
Yep.
Tale of the Wild West.
Yep, he was a character.
So
in
if you
that
say
game,
yes,
too.
we've met at the. If you say yes, we've met at the Hard Drive Saloon, you actually get a card deck that is from that game. If you say no, you get a White Star Line card deck.
Which one should we go for?
I think I actually.
I say we go with no. I like.
Like White Star cards?
I say we go with
do too.
no. I like the White
Good luck.
Star.
Me too.
You'll need it.
But it is cool that they have a reference like that
Care for a blackjack?
there. I'll play one quick game, and it could be important to practice my skills.
That's 15.
Or 6. Ace
Oh,
can
that's
go
right.
anyway.
Oh.
I have one as you see.
Yeah, I can't win like some of my
Je
friends, like Dean.
Another hand
Dean
wins
is
everything. When I try playing games in the Voyage, I lose.
I know. I win once, I'm like, alright, that's good enough for me.
Which might not bode well for my future here.
So 14, 24. Oops.
Trademark laugh.
Trademark laugh.
Again?
Reminds me of that
got it.
the gif that's like laugh or gasps in Spanish.
Could be this guy. I believe he could
This
be.
is weird.
I don't know you, nor do I want to. Leave me or I shall summon a steward. Tell me, do you approve of women who smoke?
No, because I don't approve of anybody who smokes.
Nor do I, but we have to appeal to her. We have to appeal to her.
You're witty. Most men take their indulgences one at a time. Combine them, like women with tobacco, and they pitch fits. Pity. Andrew and I wintered in Cairo. We returned via Paris, where we ran into all sorts of people, including
dig
that
the hat a
charming
lot,
German
though.
Colonel Zeitel. He had a great interest in rare books. It will be wonderful to be home. No dust storms, no lepers. Mr. Trask predicts a banner year for me. Trask? A brilliant seer. Brilliant! I consult him about business decisions, and he's never steered me wrong. He instructs me to travel on only 2 ships, the Titanic and the Lusitania. I must stop
Bum
my chat
bum
here.
bum.
I've other concerns. My maid, she's left us. Yes, well, good night.
Yeah, I always like that. Mr. Trask trying to offer there, I think.
I want her hat. I mean, look at that thing.
So if we go show this pipe to Trask, he actually will give us a hint.
Hello. In need of psychic consultation? You know, a medium told me the only danger in my life would come on water. Sort of fresh, he did not say. Damn it all, I wish they'd be more specific. That pipe's been someplace quite humid recently. I'd visit the Turkish bath. Good luck.
I also have him do a reading of the necklace.
These, my friend, will surprise you, mark my words.
Surprised me how ugly they are.
Good night.
So we got a hint that the pipe was in the Turkish bath, so we could go down there. But we're gonna solve all this another way. I'm gonna talk to Officer Morrow up here.
Good evening. Third Officer Morrow here.
His beard looks like it's
I
been
am
glued on.
sorry, but this is the officers' promenade. No passengers allowed. Yes, very calm.
That's eerie.
No moon.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Can't see what's coming. No moon means surprises, as if we don't have enough already. Mr. Ismay, the White Star Line's president's on board. We're walking
That is
eggshells
true,
around him, I
Theo.
tell you.
That hat probably
Though that's
killed an
nothing
entire
compared to the
species.
creeping about my brother-in-law's doing at the moment. His entire London office is in an uproar. Tom works in the Admiralty. Seems our plans for troop deployments against Germany disappeared 3 weeks ago. Tom says the big boys are petrified the Jerrys will get wind of it. Could upset the balance of power. Politics. Desktop espionage. Bureaucrats. Pah, give me the C. You can toss the rest.
Oops.
Never have. Not since the war. South Africa. Boer War. The officer was a drinker. He was drunk when they trapped us out on the veldt. On a moonless night, it was a massacre. We never saw them coming. Drink always leads to the devil. An interesting connection. For all I know, it could be true. A man's got his troubles. Sick child, being away from home. But I hate whiners and apologizers. Well, thank you for your insight. Have a look, why don't you? Mind you, Phillips will
After
have
all
my
that.
head if he catches you in there, but I don't see any harm. Go on in.
So you
Again,
got
it's
to,
all about appealing to these characters.
you got to appeal to them. And if you say the wrong things, they'll get upset at you. So by saying all the right things with him, he's now let us visit the wireless room. And there's a couple messages here that we
So
can
these are
read.
ice warnings.
Yeah. Probably not that important.
We get like the artificial feathers, Theo, like the goose feathers and stuff. No, we're using geese.
So, like, here's a very strange message.
Oh, I bet that's a cipher.
You can also, like, turn the set on and stuff, too. But I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to turn it on. The operators will come back later and be like, what the hell? So, before I go decode this, maybe we should pay a quick visit down to the Scotland Road. To see what Mr. Conklin wants.
Why am I being shouted at?
Being shouted at.
Yes, bear, goose.
What killed me is that there are some of these places on the second class stairway that are clearly labeled, but you can't go in.
Yeah.
We could talk. No,
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say,
the
he
second class dining
always-
saloon. Yeah, no,
He's
sorry.
like practically a jump scare there, you know. Just
He is a
coming
little
down
bit
the
of a jump
stairs,
scare.
It's like, whoa.
Just a minute. Calling on Miss Pringle. She has been invaluable this voyage, a pillar. Oh yes, we're very glad she's with us. They say you met Trask. Be wary of him. Trask's a trickster.
He's scary.
Take this card, a prayer card, from my own collection. So you must like it, this section of the Titanic. Here, second class. You can get to Scotland Road from here. Do you know it? Scotland Road?
This guy is very scary.
Scotland Road runs the length of the ship, from stern to bow on E-deck. It allows the crew to get from one side to the other quickly. I can go to third class if I take the Scotland Road. But I don't believe in social mixing. No, it creates too much anxiety. A place for everyone, and everyone a place. Though some don't choose to see it that way. In the course of my ministrations, I've observed a gentleman from first class, a young German, among the steerage women. Most unnatural. I haven't said anything. I wouldn't want to upset the ladies, especially Miss Pringle. She seems a fragile vessel.
Ugh.
Wait, before you leave, you mentioned that you approved of our work at the mission in Nyasaland. I'd like to add your name to our list of financial backers. An auspicious honor, oh yes. I am very happy. Tomorrow we will discuss everything. Good evening.
I don't like him.
Yeah, he's one of the creepier characters for sure. Here's Mr. Conklin.
Hello, I'm Conklin. Good of you to come. I trust you're finding the accommodation satisfactory? You're welcome. White Star's anxious for everyone to be as comfortable as possible, particularly on the maiden voyage. Sorry to seem mysterious. You must understand someone in my position, an investor in this ship, needs discretion. You're under no obligation, of course. I have a slight problem. You may be able to help. A servant has stolen an important business document from me, and I must recover it. A few years ago, my wife Beatrix hired a young Irish girl as maid in our London house. We treated her well. 2 weeks ago, she up and left without notice, taking a certain letter with her. I'd given up all hope of recovering it, until my wife spotted her this morning on the third-class promenade. Needless to say, I checked with the purser. She'd been scheduled to sail on the Philadelphia, but those passengers were transferred on board the Titanic because of a coal strike. Government officials, friends of mine, told me a bureau agent was on board. I found you through Mrs. Cashmore, a preposterous woman, but she does have an eye for accomplishment. Look, will you help me? You will be rewarded handsomely. Her name is Shayla Hacker. She's 20 or thereabouts. I was her benefactor, one might say. Confidential business matters. Conkling Steel provides steel for ships. This ship, for example. If the contents of the letter were publicized, our competitors would profit greatly. I've gotten word to her to meet on the poop deck. Go in my place. Tell her there'll be no trouble if she returns the letter. Afterwards, report to me in our suite, B59. Her name is Shayla Hacker. Good night.
No, time is advancing.
Yeah. But it's probably 10 o'clock. No, it's the same.
Nope, just a
slight advancement. So we might as well continue down this side quest.
The longest 15 minutes of my life.
I usually like getting the side quests kind of out of the way early.
What did I tell you, Shay? I knew he'd not come in person.
Hush, Jack, hush. Conklin, he did send you, didn't he?
That's not Jack.
Yeah, where's Rose? That's not Jack. Yeah, what the?
I told you, it's a trick. I knew Conklin wouldn't come. He sent one of his cronies instead. I'm her brother, and Conklin. Because of him, Shayla's had to leave everything and everyone she knows.
Jack, don't.
That son of a bitch. She was his maid and all the time violating it.
Hush, Jack. I'll have no more of it. Go on, Jack, say it.
You tell Conklin we have his letter, and he'll not be seeing it till he coughs up a tidy sum, too. 5,000, do you hear? Dollars. Enough to get her started right in America. And if he moves a hand against us, I'll make sure the newspapers get the letter and print it. So tell Conklin. 5,000. Measured against what he has, it's a bloody bargain.
Meet us here again. At 1 tonight.
$5,000, then he'll get his damn letter. Agreed?
Okay.
It's your only chance. We'll be waiting for you.
Real Jack and Rose.
Except they're brother and sister, that'd be weird.
I would. So, I guess we just jump back to B deck. And one of the things I like too is, even though they might seem disconnected, like all these storylines are actually very interconnected. It's on the other side, isn't it? 69? 59.
Come in. I'd hoped to meet you earlier, however, my wife and I were calling on the Astors. Madeline's pregnant. Beatrix was thrilled. We have no children. I see. It's a ransom. May I present Mrs. Conkling?
You should pitch the ungrateful girl overboard. Your clothes, French cut, quite fetching. I forgot to tell you when we first met.
Beatrix is on her way to California. She's got a new project in... Where is it, dear?
A cow town, someplace called Los Angeles. I'm doing up a little resort there. It's called the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Only the Beverly Hills Hotel.
So, where is the Irish tart? Dreaming of her newfound riches?
We were just talking about that, darling.
My husband and myself extended every courtesy, showed every kindness to Shayla. We've no children. Shayla became quite dear to us. So her theft hurt us all the more for the trust we placed in her. Don't fail us. Now, excuse me. I must retire. I have a frightful headache.
Tempted to say it, but it'll just be nice.
Please,
It
no.
was a pleasure.
Oh.
Good night. Andrew?
My wife felt strongly about Shayla. As I've told you, we had no children of our own. Look, you must get that letter. Don't wait until tomorrow. See if you can speak to Shayla directly, without her brother. She's in the third-class cabins forward, on F deck, number 59. Good night.
No,
I'll
you're
speak
a
to you
creep.
tomorrow.
I thought you were a creep from the beginning.
So I'm seeing that's an interesting question. There's a lot of like Titanic Voyage elements in this game. Is that intentional? And I think that was intentional in the early design. Do you have any insight into that, Remy? You were around before I was, but I think this game inspired a whole lot of the Voyage. At least in terms of
well,
like, you know,
back when
the
we...
map screen, the inventory, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that part, yes. The game itself was always meant to be more of a chat room / RPG experience, but as it's evolved, it has taken on some of the adventure out of time qualities to it with the inventory and especially the map.
Yeah, I agree.
Jack, is that you? I'll be right out.
Yes, it's me.
I don't want to wake the baby. Oh,
It's not Jack.
we were meeting later. Where's Jack? Please, I don't want no trouble. I didn't know the letter was so dear. I just wanted to take something, anything that looked valuable. For the baby. It was Jack who read it. Saw it was bad for Mr. Conkling. He said the bit about selling bad steel would ruin him if it was to get out in the papers. Anyway, Jack, he says Mr. Conkling got the letter from an engineer up at the mill. Said the mill's been making bad steel. High in sulfur is what he called it. The steel's no good, and they put it in the Titanic. It'd be a scandal if it got out. That's why Mr. Conklin wants the letter back. But Jack, he says Conklin will have to pay us to get it. $5,000. Huh, Mrs. Conklin's probably behind it. All she cares about is a fine name and pots of cash. And a baby. But she won't get Eddie. No, she won't. And if she tries, I'll ruin her. Make her poor as me. My baby, Eddie. He's the only reason I stood them last month at the Conklings. I knew Mr. Conklin weren't going to leave his missus. I was only a parlor maid, but I didn't care. I was happy to have his baby. Him and Mrs. Conklin. I thought they was so kind. Until I found out. Then Mrs. Conklin was going to steal my baby for her own. Once I had it, she would fire me and take Eddie for herself. She can't have her own babies. So they used me to get one, to get Eddie. When I found out that was her plan, I left. I didn't know the letter was anything. I thought it might hold a pound or two. Well, that's Eddie. Bye. Don't forget about our meeting.
She doesn't deserve her hat.
She doesn't deserve her hat. I forget if there's more of that side quest now or not, but
I think we are done with the Conkling bit. If you go out to the A-deck first class promenade,
someone wandering around.
go all the way aft.
Okay. Ah, yes.
It's the gossip. Oh no, it's not the gossip, it's the other lady.
I knew you'd
Georgia.
come.
She winked. Ooh.
Charles received a telegram from the solicitors. Our estate's to be sold off. He asked about the necklace I gave you. I told him I left it with a purser. Don't say anything to him or Sasha. Not him and his group of... Oh, there's much more to tell you. Can you meet me in my stateroom? I'm in B70. It's Charles' custom to go for a drink in the smoking room. When he does, visit me.
We can check the smoking room and meet him now.
Lord Lambeth. I'm traveling with my wife, Lady Lambeth. George has decided to take the air. I opted to take this. My wife, Georgia, she's unwell.
Please say hello to the ship's drunk.
Yeah.
She tells some fairly tall tales. She tells some fairly tall tales. Yes, it's not the best situation, I'm afraid. And just one of my trouble. Too many to speak of. With Georgia, how else? 4 years ago at a house party, she enchanted me. We got married and were happy. But Georgia's moods grew volatile. She imagined plots against her everywhere, even with Sasha. Sasha cares more for money than for her. I know that now. He's on board, actually, shepherding a collection of paintings to New York. But that's a secret.
Of course you do, Dean.
Night.
That's like all you
and
do
if you
now.
should speak to my wife, remember, she tells some fairly tall tales.
I think it's what most people do in the game. Just play poker, drink whiskey.
I like playing the snakes and ladders even though they can last for like half an hour.
You know, you're letting me do all the talking. If you don't mind me asking, just why are you headed to New York?
Good night.
Guess we all got our secrets, don't we? See you around, bub. Good night.
That'd be pretty rude. If you don't mind me asking, why you going to New York? Good night. I keep forgetting I can just map jump. I like wandering the ship.
I say, watch your step.
There we are. Do not skip this.
No harm done. No harm.
I'm so sorry.
Try to my toe.
We're the Goss Joneses from Holt Whistle, you know. How are you finding the
Talk
crossing?
about a hat.
You're English, then? I would have thought American. Oh, my. I didn't mean to insult you.
Can't hold a thought.
Dreadfully large place, America.
Brain like as if she's got...
All that space and all those immigrants trying to fill it up. I was just commenting to Henry, on a White Star crossing one meets all the right people. While we were just chatting with a delightful elderly couple in the reception. The Strausses, wasn't that right?
Own a small dry goods store in New York somewhere. Called Macy's.
On D-deck.
Ribena, must you always finish my sentences? You're as jumpy as that American chap, that photographer.
Yes, he was just snapping away.
Taking pictures of some German colonel and that Englishman.
Snap, snap, snap.
War's coming, all right. Mark my words.
War? How beastly. Will Mr. Burns have to fight? He and his wife, such sweet things. But I do see her point. It is their honeymoon. Why he insists on snapping those photos, I haven't a clue.
For God's sake, woman, talk, 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 like a madam in a Rangoon bawdy house.
Henry, that's unspeakable.
So don't speak
Don't speak then.
Yaps louder than a scrum of rabid corgis. Now see here, this Burns chap.
If you want to see something interesting, take a look at his pictures. He's on C deck, cabin C, 78.
There we go. Yeah, usually.
There we go. We now have access to
a puzzle.
Mr. Burns' cabin.
Enter.
Oops.
Enter.
Enter.
Mr. Burns.
I wasn't sure you'd come.
This is like the longest 15
Andrew
minutes ever.
Conklin.
It's because we're
He's
doing all the
loaned money
side
to
quests at
Charles.
once.
A lot of it, I think.
The side quests don't add time to the game.
Yeah, it's the main story. So, yeah, we're just in a
First, I
very
want to
long
know how you
15
fared these last years. Rather well from the looks of you. I'm glad to see you. You're the only
She's
person
rather well
I can
from the look
trust.
of you, except at this point we've
Please
been running
promise
around
me
so
you'll
much in
help.
15 minutes, our hair is probably like a mess. We're sweating and gasping.
You always were there when I needed you. Now, with my life a horrible mess. When Charles discovered my affair with Sasha, he was quite calm. But I know him, you see. His revenge is taking the necklace, leaving me with nothing. And Sasha, I'd never trust him again. Don't you see? They're looking for guns, for bombs. At a party last June, Sasha was quite passionate. A Slavic trait, I'm told. His mother came from Belgrade. I fell in love. We used to meet at his gallery, but we were never alone. They'd come at all hours. Sasha's friends. His gallery was their London base. They were rough men, foreign. Sasha told me they were part of a Balkan aid society. Stupid girl that I was, I believed him. But then I found out. These people, they... Charles!
Please, Georgia, continue. Was it my title or my income you found so desirable? I was never sure. Now that both assets are depleted, why don't you go to Sasha? Maybe he can help, as he's done before.
Ignore him. I see the smoking room's had its usual effect.
Idle gossip, apparently.
You see his attitude? Please, go.
Since she obviously can't depend on me. Here, take the chill out of the air. Thank you for seeing after my wife. Now I think it best you leave the happy couple, drowning in their happiness. Good night.
Remember, I need your help.
We go up to the boat deck, I believe.
Yes.
I think we can hit the next part of the Georgia storyline. I don't want to go the other way.
It's a nice thing about doing these all early. There he is, yeah.
There he is.
So that we'll just get to go through all the main story.
Have you seen Georgia?
Afterwards.
Maybe she's on the poop deck.
Don't care for me much, do you? There's much you don't know. Let's discuss it, over a drink. Shall we, then? God, much better. Bartender, a whiskey and soda. Yes, much better indeed. Now, Georgia, afraid of me? Well, that would be a reaction at least. We no longer evoke emotion in each other. We're husband and wife in name only. You may have heard I am in financial straits. I've borrowed money from Andrew Conkling, money that he is now demanding I pay back. I've none to give. Poverty should remain the domain of the virtuous. I've no taste for it. To tell you. No, I shall fix things first. And without Georgia. Another drink? Another whiskey for, Hope you don't mind if I do. Now, you, want to know some secrets. Thank you, bartender. I'll tell you one. George's diamond necklace. It's a fake. The one on her neck, leastways. I gave the real necklace to Sasha. It's in his cabin for safekeeping. When he gets to New York, he'll sell it, quickly and quietly, for 20% commission. I'll pay off my debts to Conkling, put Georgia away, sail back to England free and clear. She's unstable, as you know, so I'm placing her in a sanatorium. Easy thing to do, given her emotional history. The law favors the husband in these matters. She can do nothing about it. God forbid the suffragettes really do win women the vote. They'll never know their place again.
What a dick.
Because I threatened to tell Scotland Yard about his Serbian Aid Society, and because Sasha's a greedy bastard. He'd betray his love for 20%. And Georgia thinks she's outsmarted me. No, she's got a fake about her neck and doesn't know. Another? Good night, then. You'll sleep well. The whiskey and the sea are both smooth for a change.
I agree. What a sleazeball.
That's what makes his character so fun. We can just jump to A deck, the grand staircase, or we can go this way.
Let's jump. Can we actually go forward to Sasha's room now? Or is that later?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
No, we should be able to get all this done
So
now.
even though this is a side quest, it's actually one of the important items that you need to finish the game.
Well, then again, hold on. Nope. A14.
Oh, you're right.
Did you just remember
No, you were on the right side.
Oh, yeah. No, I got you. Right here.
Good night.
Okay, I guess we can't meet Sasha yet.
Good night.
I guess we are going to have to go through a bit of the game before we can, because the telltale is there's got to be a crew member in that passage where his cabin is.
Yep. And
For us
if
to
he's
get
not there-
where we need to be.
What else do we have? Oh, the prayer card.
The Reverend Trout's ministrations. He thinks I'm the devil incarnate. This will make someone a welcome gift, I sense. Good night.
So I guess we can go to C deck and see Mr. Burns before we resume the main story finally. After this really long 15 minutes.
Yes, can I help you? You found him. What do you want?
I told you, this is the guy that looks like a younger version of a dad of a person I used to be friends with as a kid.
Okay.
I set up a small darkroom in my cabin. Well, unfortunately, I don't have time to show it to you. Gee, thanks, I think so. I wish Stephanie agreed with you. My wife's angry with me because I've spent more time with my camera than with her. She just doesn't understand that a photographer can't stop taking pictures even on his honeymoon. Have you seen Stephanie? She's wearing a blue hat. I better wait for her.
If I remember right, she's just right up here. Yeah. And you don't even really talk to her, you just click on her and see her. Which always confused me way back in the day. I was looking for someone to actually talk to.
Hello. Good to see you again. Have you seen Stephanie?
She's wearing a blue hat.
She must really be sore with me. You've got pretty good advice. I'm going to find her right now. Excuse me. Good night.
Oh no, we just sneak into his
And
cabin?
he walks off without shutting the door.
Yeah. Now we can break into his room. I should make another save as well, so we can not. Since our last
Photo.
save. Yeah, sure, photo. Now we get to look at them. Okay, so I was part of the reason I saved it because I'm always horrible at this, and I screwed them up.
Make sure you've turned off all the light sources. Turn the darkroom lantern. Open a fill cartridge and rotate button. Place in start
Here's
graph.
number one. Wait 15-20 seconds. Remove it. Place it in the second one. Wait another 10 to 15. So it's 15 seconds first, then 10 seconds. Then hang it dry.
Turn off all light sources.
So yeah, the first step would be turning off the lights. The dark room light. Is that? I also do have some pictures just up here, but I'll make those later. Okay, so let's hope I don't screw these up. 1, 2,
2,
3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, and 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I got it.
You did it!
Woohoo!
That's one.
It's 2 more times. 5.
He's gonna come back and be like, what the fuck, why are my pictures developed?
15. Well, we're gonna take him with us. He's where my pictures go.
Oh.
5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
Got it!
Last one. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, we should add a photo developing minigame. Titanic Voyage, that would be fun. Good, yep. I think we got them all.
You can take every single photo?
Only the ones we just
Just the 3 we did.
Oh. Turn his light back on.
I can just look. I think these are actual Titanic passengers, right? I'm honestly not sure. Someone should use some of these for your character.
I can definitely say those are definitely period photos.
Yeah.
However, I'm not sure if they were actual
Titanic passengers.
Titanic passengers.
Right.
Okay, so we've got all that done. I think the only place left.
Consultation.
Yeah.
I think our next step is we gotta get the storyline moving.
Yep.
These two are up to no good. They're making a deal of some kind. Not a bad photograph. That's Willy von Haderlitz, is it not? That man is hiding something. He is desperate.
So
good night.
got some photographs that might help us out.
Photographs.
Yep. Now let's head back to our cabin and go decode that telegram that we found 15 minutes ago.
Alrighty, first things first, you gotta hook the battery up.
Oh, that's what I'm missing. See, I'd never actually solve it this way, so this could be fun.
Alrighty, so get the telegram.
It's okay.
Get. So, just hook the battery up.
Hook up the battery, pull the telegram out. Set these numbers, right? 8.
Yep. 7, 5, 4. And now you've got to be extremely careful typing this out. So.
I need to type that AM as well.
Yep.
And then click decode.
Decode.
Hope I did it right. Okay.
Ta-da!
Now we can just go get it, right?
Yep, so now I know where we need to go. Boiler room 4, cold chute 5.
Boiler room 3.
3. No,
Very cool, sheet 4.
Cold chute 4. So now we gotta figure out how to get to the boiler room.
May I be of assistance?
I don't think he
Good
can tell us.
night.
Nope. Attendant.
Lieutenant definitely can tell us how to get where we need to go.
Where to? At your service. The boiler rooms? Blimey! Passengers ain't allowed down there. Take the second-class stairs down to F deck. I fancy there's some stairs down from there. Now where to?
Like he's like, you can't go there, but he's how.
Yeah.
I know how to do it, but you're not allowed.
But just to prove that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I can't have you thinking I'm a fool.
So now we go this way. Does Penny Pringle say anything? No.
I think she does. We can go stop by. Let's go up to our cabin real quick.
Won't hurt anything.
You've decoded the message. Smashing.
Smash.
The boiler rooms. Blast. There's an entrance to the lower decks around here somewhere. Query the lift attendant. He's cheeky, but he knows this ship. Intercept the Rubaiyat before it changes hands.
Yes, Mom.
Cancel the fate label comes. Not up to that part yet. Can't go down there. Here's how you get there. And he's gonna wonder why.
That guy's like, why are you here?
What, a passenger? I can't regulate the steam for boilers 1 and 2. So I don't have time for you. You're where you shouldn't be. Get up top before you're kicked up there. Oh, I doubt it. She's really acting up. See? Still working the bugs out of her. See for yourself.
Yeah.
Have at it. There's a gauge showing the turbine's power output. The needle's got to move into the green zone. Over here.
I like how they just let you do their job.
I hate this puzzle so much.
Yeah, so the way to solve it is kind of just randomly move stuff until it works.
I don't like this method.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, it's the only method that really works. It's really just trial and error, pulling and turning.
Things get so much worse. Yeah, there's no explanation of what any of these things do. Oh my god, I broke it.
It's that thing.
What thing?
The thing that you just moved.
This?
No.
This?
You had it in the middle and it's fine. You can see like all these pressure gauges and temperature things. You should be looking at them.
You kinda am. Oh my god, this... Okay, that's full now. That's gotta be good, right? Sometimes it's better to just restart.
You're still running too
Yeah.
rough. What's wrong?
Let me try
Right.
again.
There's a gauge showing the
About to
turbine's
take a
power
mouse from
output.
you.
The needle's got to move into the green zone.
No, go back. Oh, it's in the green.
Stop. Go. Slowly.
Oh, there.
There we go. Get okay.
Did it.
Right smart, you were. She's running much smoother now. Say, since you were so interested, go on, have a peek in the engine room. She's quite a sight.
You did my job better than me. Go on then.
Yeah. Probably look down here. There's really not much in here. Unfortunately. It's a cool they haven't.
Oh!
You are a passenger. Excuse me, I would speak with you. Forgive me, I am sorry to intrude on you, a person of such high station.
Punch him.
I am Vlad.
Why would we punch Vlad?
I don't know. I don't trust him.
Forgive me. Good night.
I guess I should listen to him. But before I do,
Yeah.
before I do,
Save your game first. Save your game.
yeah.
Because there are a couple game over sequences.
Book. Save it as book. Go with your save file.
So
name.
now just
Yeah, what is
so
it
now
say?
go ahead and just walk up the stairs.
So yeah, we got the book. Let's go.
You're leaving? Wait. I've been looking for this. Thank you.
And we lose. I like how he just shoots someone in the middle of the boiler room.
The boiler room.
My favorite one is you get shot in the lounge somehow.
I've never been able to figure out how to get Diddle to shoot you in the lounge.
It had happened once, but I forget. Maybe we'll read some of this later for fun.
No, it was bad when I was in high school.
Now I want to read a passage.
Okay.
Awake for morning in the bowl of night has flung the stone that puts the stars to flight.
And lo, yeah, finish it.
Oh, you can't finish. I said just one.
That's a
No wonder the
stanza.
Titanic sank. The crew seems incompetent. So the trouble here is that if we try leaving this boiler room, we get shot. And he's expecting it to be obviously here in Cold Shoot 4. So how would you get around
Put
this?
it in Cold Shoot 5.
Or really any other coal shoot, but yes.
He's not gonna
Because
think
apparently
to look
he's
anywhere
too
else.
dumb-wit.
Yeah.
He's too stupid to look at any of the others. That was the one bit of logic that never made sense to me.
Check out the tough.
I'm lost.
A predictable with me.
All right. You've come to see her guts, have you?
I got very lost.
Squint, mate. It ain't hard. Bugger off! Up top with you, now!
Oh, I didn't impress him. Let me try again.
Back for more, are you? All right, now. Let's see what the toffs are made of. Come on, Leadhead. Jerk. That's the best you can do. Jerk. You're just an ugly cur. And you're a stupid, ugly, drunken cur.
Which one should we use?
Son of a motherless goat.
Landlubber.
Oh.
I like Son of a Motherless Goat, though. But either that or Bag of Chum would probably be my choice.
Did you say landlubber? Why, you lying, ugly, low-down, bow-legged, yellow, drunken cur? Who's all right by me? All right, stay if you like, but I can't mind you. Ooh, me? At shift's end, I'm stopping by F-59. Her name's Sheila Acker, and she's the prettiest lass on board. She may be a steerage girl, but she's first class by me. Cheers. Don't mention it.
I like Son of a Motherless Goat.
I am waiting for someone.
The other thing that always confused me
You
was
changed
she's
your mind?
standing there right there watching.
I admit, I am leaving my home. I am
And
a
he's just
third
standing there
male.
like.
I mean, I would be if someone was heading
Us
down
three.
towards the thing I needed to
For
grab,
that,
I'd
they
be
will
hanging
pay.
over the railing, watching what the hell
I do not want to
that
go.
person
Well,
was
obviously
doing.
he's not
I need
smart
a friend.
enough to
I have
figure
a
out
friend
it's in
first
another.
class in cabin A14.
Yeah, he's
Mr.
clearly not
Barbican
that
has a
smart to
package
begin
for me.
with.
Can you bring it here? Me enter first class like this? No, they will
He's
catch
smart
me.
enough to know he can't enter first class.
His name is Barbican in A14. Tell him you've come from Vlad. He will give you the package. I wait here for your return. Your assistance will be repaid manyfold.
I think the 15 minutes might have just ended.
No, we've already missed the 15 minutes.
No, it's been half an hour.
Yeah.
Nope. It has now been half an hour.
Yeah. When we decoded the thing, it was 15 minutes. It's this music.
Yeah, I don't get to hear it nearly enough. Oops.
Crikey, how'd you get here? You'll have to go back up. You're not allowed down here.
Like one of my favorite songs.
Sorry.
In the game.
Sorry.
You just come out through the door. What the? Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite songs, the cargo hold, and you barely ever get to hear it. Unfortunate. I mean, on a whole,
There are
like,
times
all
in the
music.
when I actually sit down and play the game and I'm not in a not like a rush, but if I'm not obviously doing a video playthrough, there are times I will actually just go to a certain area of the ship and
Just
literally
stop,
just
listen.
stay in that area just to listen to the music.
Me too.
You know, you could just get
Yeah,
the
I need to
music.
say that. I'm wondering though. I mean, yeah, but when you're playing the game, sometimes it's nice to just stop and enjoy it in that kind of atmosphere.
Yes? You found him. Sasha Barbican of Barbican Galleries. Now, what is it that I can help you with? Our history is quite complex. Certainly. Georgia's a woman who does not go unnoticed. Georgia exudes a certain romantic paranoia, a condition, I fear, worsened by Charles' own romance with whiskey. Georgia? Have you talked to her? You be the judge. She's accused me of outrageous deeds, libelous practically. I'm part Slav, you see, a Serbian on my mother's side. Georgia finds such a mixture a source for wild stories. Continuously. One hears there are financial problems. They say Charles owes Andrew Conkling thousands of pounds. Not much anyone can do, I'm afraid. George is in clear need of a rest. For Vlad? He's on board? Please come in. He did it. I told him not to, told him I'd pay his ticket, but he was too proud. Such a tragedy about his family. They were with my mother's people. When Austria took Bosnia, they were killed. Many were. With his family dead, America seems as good a place as any for Vlad. Ask Vlad, I don't know. Here, his things. He'll be glad to get them. It's rather late. Good night. And don't believe what Lady Georgia says. She's not well. Enjoy your voyage.
See, I can't tell if this is just old-time men constantly being like, "Ah, this woman's not well," or if she's genuinely mentally ill.
Georgia, it's hard to read that. Like, clearly
Hey, Shane,
everyone
do you
around
want to
here-
zoom in on the package real quick?
Oh, sure. What's up with it?
If you click on the package, you see what...
Oh, I actually never even knew you could do that.
It's just clothes?
Yep, we are delivering clothes so Vlad can sneak up to first class with the what he's supposed to have the Rubaiyat, but
Oh, yeah, that's right. Suppose you can get up to first class. That's nice. I never knew you could look at the package and see that.
Of course, Ray knows.
See what he's like master. Okay, got the package.
Thank you. I must see Mr. Barbican. I've bad news. He will not be happy. I am looking for something. Something very important. But it's not here. You have seen a small... It is of no importance. Good night.
One thing I like about this game is it's very easy to fail these puzzles and not the items. If we hadn't moved this, then he would have found it, and it would be out of our possession for a while. Map jump. Oh, you can't. Can you map jump in here?
yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. E go Z.
Did you get it? Did you find the Rubaiyat?
Don't point at me. How rude.
Smashing. What have you learned? More art? Zeitel's no connoisseur. No, there's something about that painting of interest to the German High Command. I don't have any information about Vlad, but the other fellow, look here. Zeitel's Titanic contact is a London art dealer named Sasha Barbican. They say he smuggles art, and he's not above selling stolen merchandise. The files say he's Serbian, interestingly enough, with links to some shady Balkan groups. Let me see. That's the Rubaiyat, all right. Well done. Leave it with the purser for safekeeping. It shall be undisturbed there. Find anything else? Quite significant. This man, here with Zeitel. That's Barbican. I'll keep this. Good work. The painting's what Zeitel's really after. You must secure it. Where or how, I don't care. Just find it and bring it back here. Remember, leave the Rubaiyat with the purser for safekeeping. He might also know where the painting's stored. Sneak a peek at his cargo manifest. That should help you find the painting. Cargo stored somewhere beneath the forecastle deck. Things are thickening up quite nicely, aren't they? We've got to get our hands on that painting. Don't fail.
So from all that I can remember, things are kind of a little more urgent now. So if we don't move fast enough, we'll lose the painting.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna do any side thing, I'm just gonna go straight to the painting.
There. What do you want?
First, we should check this book in.
Very nice.
Security is our first priority. I'll put it in the safe. Why, what do you know? Not that it matters. I'm much too busy. I must get this message through from Mr. Thayer. Mr. Thayer expects his private train car to meet him in New York, and I can't leave my post. But I need to send this telegram. Help? Yes, it might be helpful if you delivered this message to the wireless room for me. Even better, why don't you send it for me? Mr. Thayer is a very important man. So send
The
the
crew
telegram.
really is useless.
And when you
Which
have, don't
passenger
forget
do
to
this
tell
for
me.
me?
That's all then, is it?
Yeah, we're having to do all the crew jobs on this ship.
Might as well get paid.
Seriously, maybe we should quit our job and become a steward.
Obviously, we can work the boilers.
We can like do everything on this
Yeah.
ship. So now's the time to actually send a message. Oh, I'm missing something.
Gotta set the frequency.
Yep.
Do you know what it is?
You just keep going till the light lights up.
Yep. There we go. And then got this long message to send. I'm pretty sure that's all I actually need to do.
Yeah, you only ever have to type one letter.
So we sent Mr. Thayer's important telegram.
Now Mr. Thayer's not gonna know what's happening.
His private train car most certainly will not be there waiting for him. So I've given...
Sorry about that.
That was one of the requests someone had, was make sure that Mr. Thayer doesn't get his train car, so we've done that now. We just tap one key and then we're like, I don't know how to do this, and we left.
Yes, can I help you?
I sent the telegram.
You sent it? Marvelous. I was afraid you'd forgotten. Mr.
Why-
Thayer will be most grateful.
Gratuity.
And let them think the purser's not doing his job. I am the purser, and as purser, I am the one who looks after the passengers. Mr. Thayer is vice president of the Pennsylvania Railroad, and it is I who shall inform the Thayers that their train will be waiting. So, if you'll excuse me...
Yeah, their train will be waiting for them, alright.
Cargo manifest.
So we're looking for painting here.
There it is.
Oh, sorry.
Second page, right there. Barbican Galleries. Amika Buchner Shipping. One case artwork, painting, and frame.
Okay. So now we've got to get to the cargo hold.
Let's go back to the purser. We don't have time to be marching towards the...
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yes, can I help you? Oh wait, go away, I'm too busy. Mr. Isidore Strauss, he's lost a cufflink, and he's so particular. How should I know? There's more than enough passengers on this ship to keep me hopping. Old Mr. Strauss could make things very difficult. Yes, very difficult. Thank you. It is a gold coupling. Mr. Strauss will be very grateful.
And so earlier when we met the Gorse Joneses, they mentioned seeing the Strausses down on D-deck.
Oh, that's where the... In Honor and Glory, you said there was a cufflink there.
Yep, that's a reference to
Yep.
this. And there's people to talk to here, but I think if we do, we risk losing the painting, so... we're just gonna go deliver this cufflink.
Yes, can I help you? Wonderful. Mr. Strauss will be quite pleased that I found his cup.
You did it,
I shall
Mike.
deliver it at once. I'm just sure His gratitude will be reflected most generously.
Now we can kind of peek in here and steal some keys. They're car keys. There's another hint we've kind of gotten earlier. Just that the Carters go down to visit their car like every day.
Nobody's allowed to... You've got the keys. You're a Carter. Of course you can enter. Right this way. Come to visit your new automobile, have you? Can't say I blame you. She's a beauty. Gleaming like a new penny. Right this way. Mind your head, it's dark in there. You'll find your way from here.
And I forget which section it's in.
Definitely not this one.
Yeah.
Right across the street.
Let's try that. Otherwise, I'll just try them all.
The guy's watching you.
I thought by now they would have known their way to that car. And then were we fast enough?
Alrighty. Fingers crossed. And ta-da! Woo!
We got the painting!
Yay, that's right.
We can slow down a little and relax.
We can still do what we need to do during the sinking with regards to...
What were you saying? The sinking? What about it?
We can still do what we would have had to do with regards to trying to get the painting, because that's with the Conquins and the hackers, but we won't have to.
It won't be as urgent.
We won't be in such dire straits.
Yeah.
I would say go ahead to Stasha's cabin and see if that's unlocked yet. While we're here.
Yep. Okay. Here we go.
Yep.
Hello. Just into the electric. The fuse box there. She said you've had no time to check her wiring. Adek's been complaining about the lights all night. We'll get her straightened right out. That is if I can find my screwdriver. Wager I forgot it below. It's on now. Be right back.
He heads off to find his screwdriver. And we have a chance to turn the lights off in Sasha's cabin.
Turn the wrong cabin off.
Turned the wrong cabin off? I did. I turned A16 off.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. There we go.
Now Sasha leaves.
And now you need to go back and turn the lights on.
Me fumbling about.
You can actually go out into the hallway and talk to Sasha.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I say, have you seen the steward? The lights have gone out in my cabin. Damnedest thing. Excuse me, I'm going to get some help.
Bye.
Okay. Safe here.
Painting.
Necklace.
Okay, fine.
Now, you said you wanted to try and solve the
Oh
puzzle.
boy.
So go ahead and try and solve the puzzle.
Okay, I don't even know what it's asking me to do. Let's see here.
Give as much instruction as we did in the 90s.
Oh, it's weird at this angle. This probably needs to add up to. No, that can't because this can't. It could, because this is 1, 1, 1, 1. Move the 1 so they're all there.
The 1 so they're all on the left.
On the 4. Just for now.
Have you noticed zeros too?
I know. I'm just looking at it now, though.
Okay.
And then
And while she's thinking about this puzzle me and Remy both hate. It took me forever as a young person
so I
to try
need
and
one more
solve
for the
this
15.
mess. Yep.
So 12, 6. One too many. No, two too many on the 12. And 3 too short on the. Right, move a 0 onto the first one.
Any 0?
Just that 0. Let's see what it looks like. That's everyone. So now 6. That. Is there any more 0 in that ring? No. Okay, put the 1. Or is there's a. Well, now it's not 4, so we gotta put something at 2.
2 2s on this one.
One of the 2s. Just...
She's actually almost got it, and I would not move that ring.
That one?
I would not move the third ring.
Interesting.
I would
focus on the center.
Okay, the center. Put the 2 on it then.
Is that it?
Get okay. Let's try it.
Oh, you were there.
I told you I'm good at solving puzzles. Are you impressed, Remy? You said you'd give me 5
so let's
minutes.
save the game here.
How long did it take me?
I'm impressed. It took.
Oh, you just assumed I was.
Alrighty. So now let's go. Now walk out the door.
Yeah, let's head
Just
to,
walk right out the door.
What are you doing in my cabin? You must leave immediately.
Okay, bye.
You have stolen
And we're
from me.
walking in.
Now I must take what is mine.
Oops.
Yeah.
And we just got killed.
So you need to put the fake one in there.
Ding ding ding.
Oh god, he's gonna make me do it again.
It was 0 1 1 2.
Actually, the funny thing is we can solve it, or we can just hop out of the cabin, literally, with the map. I'm not kidding.
Got to disable the map jump, huh? Now we got 2 necklaces. Okay.
Remy's not acting like he's impressed with me, and I'm disappointed.
I am impressed. That necklace puzzle took me. I mean, I actually back when this game came out, there were no internet walkthroughs, so you had to order the hint and tip book.
I had advised you against it. Young people, they listen to no one nowadays. May I help you in your search?
I think for me, my dad was my tip book. He solved most of it.
I am looking for something as well. Willy von Hedelitz has been most irresponsible. He has disobeyed me and misplaced a favorite painting, one destined for the German embassy. A faux pas of the first magnitude.
Uh-oh, someone's getting shot!
A rather charming street scene by a young Viennese painter. For someone with insomnia, you ask quite a lot of questions. What did you say your profession was?
Little of this, little of that.
As I have observed, stay away from German business. Germany wants land, industries, and material, and we will fight to get it. Britain and America will try to stop this, but we will know your plans. And if there's war, Germany will win. But enough politics.
No, you won't.
This has been such a civilized voyage so far. Let us meet tomorrow in the cafe, yes? The band? They play Strauss so well. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.
Hello there. You again. You seen Hadelitz's gal, Clarice Limehouse? She must have a cabin on D-deck, near reception. And could I receive her? in a New York minute. Willie's girl's got some class to her. Mainline all the way. Yeah, well, if you see her, tell her she's wasting her time spooning with that crazy Kraut kid. Me, Max, the styling Spruce Street Sharpie. I'd take care of her like a princess. A regular princess. Tell her, would you? Good night.
He gives us a hint about where another character's cabin is. For now, we gotta go tell Penny that we've made progress with the painting.
Did you get the painting? Splendid. But now something else has come up. That snooty steward Smethels was looking for you. Find him and kick him smartly in the shins. Here's a message for you.
Why kick him?
I don't think we like one another here.
I actually agree with that assessment, though. Let's turn the painting in.
Yep, and
Yes,
the
To
necklace.
be safe. And the real necklace.
Well, should we keep the fake necklace? Will that mess things up? I've never been in this situation where I have both. Wait. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yes, indeed. All jewels go right in the safe. A painting, is it? I'll put this in the safe.
I'm sure at this point that like they've
Glad to
reported
be
a
of
missing
service.
painting, and he's like, a painting. Interesting.
I don't know if they would report it necessarily if I'm trying to be all shady.
Still wondering? This ship holds a strange fascination for you. Most peculiar. I have a message from a young German gentleman by the name of Haderlitz. He would like to meet you in the squash court. They've opened it for him. Highly irregular, I must say, especially for fencing. Surely he is. The percentage of passengers demanding the courts late on a Sunday night is small. Minuscule, actually. Yes, apparently he does not favor racket sports. If memory serves me, there is an entrance to the squash courts on D-deck. Meanwhile, I shall inform the young German gentleman that you will meet him presently.
Go down to the squash court. Is there anything I should do or anything I'm missing?
Nope, not at the moment. Nope, not that way. You want to go back up onto D-deck.
Yeah.
It's through the passageway to the cabins.
Which actually is about where that staircase actually was located.
Thank you for coming. I do not meet so many people on the Titanic. It is a pity. I like the English. I wish I knew more of them. Now you have the opportunity of fencing with me. 3-time champion of my university. You are also an excellent athlete, yes? Colonel Teitel believes it so.
Does this actually change the difficulty of it, do you know?
I don't think there's... I think the best thing to do is just click.
Yeah. I just hate this.
The Colonel is very
fencing game.
seldom confused about anything. You will play. If you win, perhaps, I relate to you some stories.
Fully
On guard.
please. So, the way I do this is I just click a lot and hope. And it's there.
Sehr gut.
Okay.
2.
It's like the more I click, the less chance he has of doing anything on it. Okay.
3.
Never had to go this good before.
4.
Like I have a perfect round.
Just got better at experimenting.
I had a perfect round.
5.
You fence well. You are a great athlete.
Beginner's luck.
Wow.
The Titanic, how quickly she is moving. The engines are loud here. We are nearing the Grand Banks.
The Vikings thought this part of the North Atlantic cursed. Even modern sailors call it the Devil's Hole, a place of deadly surprises. Things aren't always what they seem, yes?
He is,
like me, for
like,
example. I am
such a
German,
gorgeous
but
man.
I am also a friend to others. Perhaps even the English. Another match? Afterwards, we can tell more tales. Another match? Oh. Hello. Sehr gut.
1.
Ella.
Oh no.
Oh.
God, he's not going down.
Ella.
Oh, I was clicking so
2 for Lily.
Come on. No.
3 for Lily.
Allez.
This is
touche.
And then sometimes you just immediately
4.
gets you like that. God, this is... Get him. Okay. Gonna make a comeback.
2 to 4.
Sehr gut.
Okay, nice.
3 to 4.
This will be a comeback in this.
It's become a fight.
Ella.
Oh, you lost.
5.
You are the loser. How unfortunate.
How unfortunate.
You are the loser. How unfortunate.
He is interested in paintings. Yes, yes. Art. That is what I meant. And you are mistaken. Colonel Seidel cares little for art, unlike his friend Herr Barbicon. I notice he likes old Vienna, for he has many pictures of the city. You do? Remember, only one thing is certain, and the rest is lies. It is a quote from an old book I had the recent opportunity to read. But I tell you more. I am associate professor at the University of Vienna. I document the mythos, the legends of mankind. I'm on my way to New Mexico to study the Yoni Indians under Dr. van der Plaars. I am interested in what Dr. Freud calls the unconscious mind, what happens below the surface of experience. Tell me, what frightens you more, fire or ice?
Fire.
The ancient Aryans believed man would see 4 ages. According to them, this is now the Wolf Age, an age that ends with ice. After the Wolf Age ends, mankind shall experience a fire that will burn for 2 generations. Clearly a metaphor for a war we must all try to prevent. Yes? If the fire comes, my friends will favor the English over Germany. Another match?
He's so eager, son. Another match?
Ungarn.
Good start. Okay, this is going way better than the other one.
Ella.
Oh. I don't know, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Allez.
Click spamming.
Touché. Touché. Sehr gut. Touché.
You stopped for a second.
Ooh. Game point.
Come on.
Come on,
Okay.
Shane. Got it.
Nice.
You are a great athlete. Take this in friendship. May it bring you luck. A thing I fear we shall all need. But if
Ominous.
anything should happen to me, I trust you will know what to do. Very good. You have proven yourself, and I must confide in you. Colonel Seidel suspects I value my friends more than Germany. He's right. Another match? Let us meet later. I will tell you more. For now, keep the ring. I bid you good night.
Did he just propose? Aww.
We got his ring. And now we need to go see Trask, right?
I think so.
Yeah, for the scene that gave a lot of people nightmares when they were children.
No, that was the seized man.
I think he should just be. He's moved. I don't know.
Check the check up the staircase. We may have to go talk to Penny first.
There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, there he is.
You've arrived. I was expecting you. I was just holding court with these two ladies. Honor and glory. Crowning time. They say 100 wood carvers worked on the Titanic. Such effort. Now in such danger. Yes, for the ship. And for a mutual acquaintance. I visited with a very nice woman in second class, a Mrs. Hart. Won't sleep a wink at night, she says, because something dreadful is about to happen. She believes to call this ship unsinkable flies in the face of God, and such arrogance will be punished. She should join the Bureau. I see your friend, Willy von Haderlitz. He is in very great danger. The ring. Yes, did you notice the Russian characters on the inside band? Willy has a hidden life. There's a girl, a pretty girl. Haderlitz knows her. Show her the ring. She'll help you. Good luck. Good night.
I gotta go find Claire's Limehouse.
I say, how are you getting on? Getting on? We use gangplanks, if I remember.
Quick as a cow, she is. Seen Guggenheim about?
Such a gentleman, extremely attentive to the ladies.
Especially his mistress. They say he stashed her on board somewhere.
Really, Henry? Not Mr. Guggenheim?
The Titanic's not a damned rectory, you know.
But Henry...
Quite the randy old goat from what I hear.
Good night.
I love them.
Padelitz's gal? The blonde? Clarice Limehouse. Classy. You think I got a chance with her? Somewhere's on D-deck. Willie came by here earlier. Good night.
I think she's forward in one of these. Yep.
Yes? You want something? It's Willie's ring. Willie, what's happened? Something bad, hasn't it? Something to Willie. He told me if I ever received this ring, I was to know that whoever gave it to me was a friend, and to tell them about the notebook, that they should find it. Willie's hidden a notebook on board, that's all I know. Now what about Willie? Is he hurt? Oh. He told me jokes. Bad ones, but he made me laugh.
Like you.
Not like Mama's friends. Mama, she doesn't like Germans, unless they've a title to their name. But I like Willie. A lot. May I have it? The ring? Thank you. I'll never forget this. Willie's in trouble. Please help him if you can.
Okay, so just wander up the stairs, see what's going on.
Do those people talk, or are they just aesthetic?
Then
They're just ecstatic.
Yeah, you can make them look at you if you click
Oh,
them.
they're creepy.
Really, I find it the height of drudgery to track you about this ship. Your constant
He hates his
meanderings make it
job so
difficult
much.
for me to attend my other charges. Miss Pringle insists that you see her immediately in her cabin. You two are thicker than thieves, and larceny is probably what you're up to. Do go see Miss Pringle.
Yeah, he's probably very, very happy to have us under his care.
Weren't you two like super far apart though?
Do you have the painting? Get it and bring it to me.
Oh, so I deposited it too early.
But you're gonna have to take it out, bring it back.
Yeah.
Yes,
Man,
can
this
I help
guy
you?
is really indecisive with his belongings.
What can I do for you?
I need
Thank
my
you.
painting.
I shall return with your valuables in a moment. Here you are. By the way, Miss Pringle
night.
left word that you were to meet her immediately in cabin F-34. We really don't condone this sort of thing, not on an English ship.
Actually, don't know if I ever heard that one before.
For me too. How dare he insinuate that I'm sleeping with
There's not
her?
much time. Willie Hadelitz is dead, electrocuted in the Turkish bath. I heard one of the officers talking about it. This may not have been an accident. Apparently, someone wants that painting badly enough to kill for it. Do you have it? Smashing. Splendid job. Look here, on the back. It's a plan for Allied troop deployment in France. If Germany ever invaded, they'd have destroyed us. No wonder Hadelitz was killed. Well, Berlin won't get this now. Leave the painting with the purser. He'll keep it with the Rubaiyat. Young Hadelitz, a Tsarist spy? It's beginning to become clear. Quite possibly. We need more information about the murder. A notebook. Zeitel's previous mission was aiding a band of Russian revolutionaries called Bolsheviks who want to overthrow the Tsar. The Germans would like nothing better than to see chaos in Russia. I'll bet that notebook's got names of Russian radicals. Such a list would be very important to the Okhrana, the Russian secret police. With it, they'd root out the Bolshevik ringleaders and eliminate a threat to the Tsar.
This is such a history
Which would
lesson.
certainly help the rest of us. If Hadelitz was murdered, you'll need protection. Here, this pen releases a single burst of knockout gas when opened. Find
Thought
that
she was giving
notebook.
us a gun.
It could be vitally important. And give that painting to the purser. Go investigate the situation at the Turkish bath. Move.
Before we go there, I do want to quick jump back here.
Can you feel it? The air has changed. It's clammy, cold, like the ice caves in the Eiger. But you're not here about climatology. What do you want? A gas pen, how clever. Don't point it at me.
I don't think we did a reading of painting either.
A painting. The artist clearly no master. Take it away. It makes me uncomfortable. Goodbye. I'll be here if you need me.
Let's go put the painting back with the cursor before I forget.
Yes, can I help you? A painting, is it? I'll put this in the safe.
Feel like you
Glad
just
to be of
checked out.
service.
And then we should go down toward the Turkish bath, which I don't think we've been to yet.
Nope.
Since we didn't do a puzzle there before.
Most regrettable. Most regrettable indeed. The young German gentleman, dead. In the electric bath. Quite unanticipated. He was alive. most vocally too, just a few hours before, arguing with someone on B deck. The gentleman's voice was unfamiliar. Yes, I believe Dr. O'Loughlin is waiting to move him, so as not to alarm the other passengers. It is, I must warn you, a most unpleasant sight. About a painting. He'd misplaced it, and the other gentleman wanted to know where it was. Very good. This is most irregular. Most irregular indeed.
How was it a few hours ago when it was literally like 45 minutes ago?
Anything? Tell me. You knew him? Look. Don't breathe a word to anyone. This was just a simple accident. Ismay's going to raise hell when he hears. And I thought this would be an easy trip.
That I roll.
Talk to Smethers, his steward. Say the man came down here after using the squash courts. Be my guest. Mind you, it's not pretty. Now, if you'll excuse me.
So I think, can we still do it? The solution to the earlier puzzle with them to turn that on and then look at this mirror. And it really told you where it was. So that's the other way of figuring out where the book was.
Poor Willie. Many knots unraveled by the road.
I mean, to be fair, he probably would have died in like a couple hours anyway.
But what a way to go. Although apparently you don't feel very much of electrocution. They say. I don't know. After a certain point, all your nerves stop working.
What now? Another clue? Certainly. A passage from the Rubaiyat. Many knots unravel could mean a rope. Complete the rest of the verse and you'll find your answer. Good luck.
So we have to read the book.
Goodbye. I'll be here if you need me.
I think we would use the book to kind of figure out the rest, right? But I don't feel like going and taking the book out. So.
But where would we find a road on Titanic?
Yeah, many knots unraveled by the road.
Scotland Road?
If I remember correctly, during our travels on Scotland Road,
We passed by certain something before.
a rope.
Christ almighty wonder! You has a face ache, ain't you? Rooming the ship, poking your nose into everyone's business. Just who do you take me for now? One of those la-di-da millionaires up top? Jack Hacker keeps his word, honors his promises. When I saw you coming, I says to myself, they'll be wanting to know about him. The foreign gentleman, German I suspect. A remedy nervous type he was too. Gave me a bob and told me to tell whoever asked to repeat a phrase word for word. You want to hear it now? But still the vine her ancient ruby yields, and still a garden by the water blows. Yeah, that's it. Here, he wrote it down. What's it mean anyway? Some rich man's game you play? You can have it. Just tell Conklin we want the money tonight.
Let's get another hint from Mr. Trask.
Back to Trask.
Fancy meeting you again. Snooping about the decks again? What fun. Oh, Henry, snooping. Really? Such dreadful taste.
Reminds me of that chap Burns, that photographer who took pictures of the ship.
You should look him up. He's on C deck. He has such a lovely wife, too.
I say it's late. Must run.
You
Goodbye.
don't think Jack sounds authentically Irish? Do you?
Yeah, I would go to see Mr. Burns first, and then we can come back to Trask.
Sure.
What did he say
Cabin
about
C,
books?
78.
I've got even more photos. Look at
Eric, who's at the door?
Stephanie. She's still sore. I want to get her a gift, you know, but it's too late.
Eric!
Got anything Stephanie'd like? I'll trade you. These photos for something for Steffi.
Technically, we shouldn't have that
No.
fake necklace.
What a nice thought for a new bride. Thanks. Here, take my picture. It's a man peering out from the last smokestack.
Eric, come to bed.
Coming, pumpkin. Good night.
Why'd you want to marry him if you knew how obsessed with fucking what photos he is?
What now? Another clue? Aha, the ruby out again. But still the vine her ancient ruby yields. What's red and old?
Wine.
Still a garden by the water blows. Still a garden by the water blows. We're on the water, obviously. And a garden means
cafe.
plants. Where's there a profusion of greenery on board? Figure it out. Goodbye. I'll be here if you need me.
You got it, a cafe. The only place I can think of that had a whole lot of plants. So we kind of just look around here, and doing so we can find
Old rats.
some cigarettes.
Back to Trask.
Yep.
He's gonna be like,
Back
what?
for
Now,
a
another
bunch
clue.
for this part.
Another clue.
Yeah, look what we found.
No thanks, I don't smoke. Oh, you want a reading? Very well. They belong to Mr. Seidelman. Sorry, no signals from that at all.
They told us who to go to.
To the smoking
Goodbye.
room.
I'll be
Yeah,
here
I like
if you need.
Daniel. Titanic and his green floor tiles. We wouldn't know where the hell to go then.
I like green. I'm like the only person. Oh. Oh.
Did you hear? J.P. Morgan, he owns the White Star Line. He was to be on board. At the last moment, he took the cure in France instead. Why do you suppose? Has the ship sprung a leak? I'll scare myself to death. Everyone knows the Titanic's unsinkable. Why, it's the Harrises. You know, the Broadway producer. My dear, I simply must run. Lovely chatting with you. Goodbye.
I love her.
Wine cellar. Oh, if only we could visit the wine cellar in this game. Hey, it's him.
Please leave me.
Okay. He doesn't like us much, I
Don't mind if I do. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, I always say. Gave a pack of these to the German kid early tonight. He's an odd one.
While we was docked in Queenstown, I saw him on top of one of the smokestacks.
The last one, right at the top. Who knows what he was up to? Looked like he was hiding something. Crazy crowd kid.
Oh.
A game, mon ami?
Gonna do one more game of blackjack as practice.
$13.
Come on, I gotta win at least one.
Dealer wins.
Merde. A draw.
Oh.
Another
Draw.
hand, mon ami?
Okay, we try one more.
In
One
real
win.
betting, the dealer would win. 12.
I mean, you
Oh, that's a
gotta-
9. That's.
Oh my god. This isn't.
I
This
am
doesn't
afraid
bode well.
fate
I've lost
is
every
not with
game
you
I
tonight.
played.
I win. Again? Good night.
Certainly hoping nothing important rides on a game of cards. You just speak ill of the dead like that. Yeah, I know. To be fair, he might not know he's dead yet. Yeah, what a sleazeball. So I guess we actually have everything we need now, don't
Down to Penny we go.
we? Yeah.
Apparently we're sleeping.
Those who think so.
So I can smell
Calm
it does
down.
do.
Listen, I've discovered the only way into the smokestack. Through the engine room. Find that notebook. Helping the Tsar will help us too.
So I gotta go down again. So it's very close to 11:30. Only got 15 minutes before things start to happen.
Didn't you say it?
And this time we get to
Oh, she's
walk
still
right
running
through
rough.
to the.
You're so clever last time, you cared to have a go again.
Now we gotta do this thing again. Wish I could tell him you should fix your own
You should
engine.
fix.
You should.
Right.
You should fix your
There's a
own
gauge showing
engine.
the turbine's power output. The needle's got to move into the green zone.
Can't we just be like, trust me, dude, in 15 minutes it'll be the least of your worries.
And it was no. It was the one right next to it.
This one?
Yeah.
Nope, it's a
Other
different solution this time.
Are you sure?
This one gets us very close.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
You're almost there.
You know, we just have to like
So
move
close.
something.
You haven't touched
Nope,
that
I think
one
you're
over
gonna
there.
have to turn. Probably that.
Okay, that was wrong.
You've done goofed.
Oh my god. Oh, no, that was it.
There we go.
Cool.
Cheers, mate.
Start the voyage, we need Titanic. I missed the voyage. God, I always turn right in this room. I've never once, I think, come to this room and turned the correct direction.
Alrighty, so now we get the.
Yeah, save as smoke. Just smoke. Just smoke. Going up the smokestack.
We get the wall right.
Positive. Everything important. Yeah. Let's just head on
Now
up
we
to
get
the
the wall
smokestack.
right
You
up
have
the
made me feel
smokestack
my affairs
and.
last time. You are the one who stole the ruby yacht.
What?
And
No.
Sasha's painting. I know you have it. Prepare to
Look at
die
my
at the
bag. I don't
hands
have
of
anything.
Serbia.
Okay.
You also do know that one of the. You can knee him in the crotch.
Wow.
How?
Yeah, like that. So I don't actually really know the best strategy.
Kick him in the crotch and then punch him.
How do you kick him?
No- Normally getting him in the crotch.
That is the strategy.
Normally a knee in the crotch, a kick in the crotch and then punching him does a lot more damage than just punching him.
Dang, he hits a lot harder than you do.
Yes, he does. Just got a flurry of attacks.
Get him crotch.
He's recovering super fast.
Get him in the crotch. You're missing his balls.
Got him.
He's out. Why are you still beating him up?
Got him.
There There he goes.
Okay. I wish I could rip the assets from this game. I'm just honestly shocked no one's found a way to, in all this time, especially since there seems to be hidden songs in the game, too. So, pre-syncing, I'll call it. It's our final save right before the syncing. Oh, can't save it? Damn. And just...
B-sync.
B-sync. B for before. Okay, now the smokestack. And we just kind of go. You just gotta go up, and you might eventually find yourself cornered by these crates.
Who designed this?
I don't know. I do like the music in here too, though. You only hear it this one segment of the game. Wow, I didn't hit a dead end at all somehow. Okay, so now we're on top of funnel 4.
There, I see it. Uh-oh.
I think that notebook is for me. Please.
Use the pen.
I know exactly who you are. The agents have our secrets, yes? Thank you for finding it. Billy would have appreciated your efforts. Cold, isn't it? I've maintained climate is the crucible of civilization. Culture blooms in the temperate. It is the tropic and Arctic zones which breed barbarism. Russia, for instance. In that notebook are names of anti-Tsarist Russians, revolutionaries living in exile. Germany supports these men. They are called communists. We provide assistance, small courtesies, and, wherever possible, financial encouragement. One of these men is moving to Krakow soon. Charming city, Krakow. We urge Willy to befriend such types in Vienna. He kept a list of such men for us, or so I thought. He was a Russian agent who was going to turn those names over to the Okhrana, the Russian Secret Service.
Dave would kill them. Secretly, of course, but kill them just the same. Think. With the revolutionaries all dead, the Tsar would be secure on his throne.
That should not be allowed. Not when there are wars to be planned for.
Now then, the notebook.
What's that? That is an awfully large iceberg.
Yeah, it's pretty massive in this game.
An iceberg. They've run into an iceberg. The idiots! I will be taking that notebook now.
So we're gonna do the pen or not? What do you think?
No, because then we don't get to do the bomb if we use the pen.
That's right. So just give him the notebook.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. These names won't be disembarking in New York. Neither, I am afraid, are you.
I'm afraid are you.
Sink.
So we have 55 minutes to get everything and get off the ship.
We've struck an iceberg. The incompetents, the idiots. That was an hour ago. The captain's called women and children to the boats. It's serious. She's sinking by the bow. She's got about an hour left, maybe a little more. The Rubaiyat. And a fine time I had getting it back from the purser. It's safer with you now. I've the painting. Take it. Here's your necklace from the purser. Zeitel must have hidden the notebook. Perhaps it's in his room. Cabin C, 59. The notebook lists the names of Russian radicals. The Germans actively encourage Lenin and other revolutionaries. You must recover that notebook. This information is vitally important to our Russian allies. I know you're hurt, but the Titanic's sinking. It's not going to be easy.
I know you've just
the
been
lifts have been shut down
but-
for good.
Yeah.
We must get the evidence off the ship before it goes. So, up we go. Now get cracking.
So now the clock is moving, so we are in a race against time at this point.
You had wanted this? Not quick, are you? Villy's names stay on board, and not with the Russians. A pity about the Titanic. She's going to sink, you know. I have it from Andrews, the builder. Poor fellow is in a state of shock. He is giving her about another hour at best. Make yourself comfortable. The bomb on the sofa will take care of everything else. What remains will go down with the ship. With, it appears, most of our fellow passengers. I will leave the notebook with you. A little bedside reading. Now, please excuse me. You think so? Excuse me, will you? I have an appointment to keep. Goodbye.
So he's locked us in his room. Here's the notebook.
Let me out!
Here's the bomb puzzle. Key's right there. I'm just gonna open it and take it. And I'm just gonna press the buttons. I gotta click OK first. Oh, no, there we go.
No, just start.
I messed up.
Going down! It's going down!
You didn't know Zeitel could lock you up.
Oops.
You get locked in his cabin. So we gotta figure out how to defuse this thing. So Miss Puzzle Solver, you got any ideas? So I know we gotta look at like the wires.
Yes. I'm following them. Does it tell you what each thing is? I mean, it did on that thing, but... Take it off the clock.
You'd have to blow us up again. So I mean, if you like complete these red circuits, I think it'll explode. If I turn it to... So like if I open this up and turn this to 2 or 1, when the clock counts down, if this is pointed on 3,
yes,
it's gonna
so
ding
it needs to
and blow
rotate to
everything
that
up.
4, right? Where does that go to?
So if I turn this to 3, it'll start the clock.
Yes.
If this is on 3, it'll blow up when the clock counts down. So we're gonna have to move this to something else while the circuit's incomplete.
Yes.
What else am I missing? This solenoid. It's powered when I turn this up. That would just destroy.
The blue... Don't put anything on blue.
Right.
What is
So,
this? Is...
I'm thinking we turn this to 3, start the clock.
Yeah.
Do we... 'cause now this circuit is no longer active.
Yeah.
Do we do that?
Yeah.
And then we wait and hope we fuse this thing.
Okay, go ahead and turn that to 3.
Yeah, I should be able to flip this back now, because that's already run. Take the key. Is that it? Have we done it? Can we close the box now? We did it! Sweet.
Ta-da!
I can get out of the room. And technically now we've got every item we need. We still have fake papers. We've got every item we need. So we could just leave the ship. But there's other stories still to resolve. So to go talk to people. So we're actually able to access the lounge.
If you've come to get me to leave, I'm not going. I'm not leaving Willie. I want to stay near him on the ship. We went for a walk that night on deck. There were so many stars, just like tonight. I told him you can't see the stars in New York. The lights burn too bright. I told him to go to Central Park.
And smoke.
I was going to take him to the park to show him the stars. We went for a walk that night on deck. We met here in the lounge.
Oh, she gave us a shawl. I don't know why it's so cold. I don't know. She gave us her shawl and said she's not leaving the ship. That's strange.
Why are we getting a shawl?
She just gave it to us. As a final gift, she refuses to leave the ship. I don't know why it skipped to that. But here's the lounge. We just get to see it. Every movement you do speeds up the clock, so I do need to think a little bit. So we need to talk to Zane.
You are proving surprisingly hardy, so perhaps you'll honor one more request. The evening's last, it would seem. Oh, but you must. You could save a life.
The Lady Georgia's, of course. I've poisoned her. If you decide against helping me, she will die.
But if you cooperate, the antidote for her. Why, there goes Mr. Ismay. He's abandoning ship. Not just the women and children. The president of the line gets a seat too. So, will you help? Good. Listen closely. You have the painting, and we both know its true value.
Please, the painting. Hand it to me.
Thank you. And since I am a man of my word, the antidote. And in the spirit of the evening, I will even tell you where she is. Sasha's cabin, A14.
So we lost the painting in exchange for the antidote.
We're gonna get
I
it
have
back?
nothing more I need. So why don't you give the antidote to Lady Georgia? Goodbye.
One would
I
hope.
must see about leaving.
So let's go save Lady Georgia first and foremost.
Oh, I've got anxiety. Is this it? What's happening?
We've gone forward a bit in the sinking.
Oh.
Stand back! Ladies and gentlemen, maintain order. Women and children board first.
Prepare to swing out! Lifeboat away, sir!
Help me, please. Quickly. God, thank you. Why has he done this? The one Sasha has, he wouldn't let it out of his sight. Sasha ran below, towards the turbine room, to retrieve his valuables. I don't know. Can it matter now? Meet me then, on the boat deck, with the necklace. It's a new start. Go, now. We'll leave together.
Can't leave the ship yet. Still don't have the painting. So go through the lounge. see what Charles was drinking the whole time. So, call it Simp 2.
I'm Simpkin.
Bonsoir, mon ami. Sit if you like. Talk to me. The Titanic is dying, but the games are still being played. Even here.
Is this your character, Dean?
Is that why you have come?
It is Dean.
For a game? To while away the time?
Dean brings his cards out all the way to the lifeboats.
Yeah.
My stakes? Why, mon ami, we play for souls. At least a substitute thereof.
Wasn't there
You must
also,
play for
Dean,
something
a
when
time
you-
when you were like drowning in the
something a
North
man would
Atlantic
die
still
for.
gambling?
Regardez. A carte d'entrée. A pass to the lifeboats. With this, you have life. Looks familiar, eh? If you win, it is yours. What do you wish to put down in return?
Can we bet with the fake numbers?
You can try.
Yeah, jewelry. Oh no, je regrette. The diamonds, they are fake. Glass, I am afraid. Have you anything else to put down?
So one of these doesn't cost you the best ending if you lose it, right? Or do we need to?
Actually,
I think we have to win.
Oh.
Well, that's why I saved.
A book? It is a book of value, yes? If you win, you receive the boat pass. If I win, I get the book.
So we better hope this goes well.
So 9.
Either
So
We can make that. We can make that 20, 10 or 20.
So I should hit, you think? Or should I keep it?
I would stay.
Probably. Yeah. 20's pretty good.
Yeah!
Oh, we did it!
You have won. Here. Deliverance. Of a kind. Try your luck.
I won the one game that mattered,
Well,
so
maybe I
I'm
see you
happy.
again. Before you die. Adieu.
Why did his eyes like just glow?
Going to the devil full of gin. Georgia, on deck, I suppose, with the women and children. Or Sasha, she wouldn't stay with me. Not much point to me now, is there? Maybe there never was. Won't be much longer now, will it? She's sinking
Sounds like me when
quickly.
I'm hungry.
Cheers, and good luck to you.
So now I got this boat pass that can get us off the ship.
Or we can give it to him for the painting.
I would hope so.
You have the irritating habit of appearing most unexpectedly. Ah, such disapproving looks. And you are wrong. I will leave the ship alive. Get me off this ship and the painting and its plans are yours. I am a patriot, but I prefer to be a living, but not a dead patriot. I think Mr. Riviera has given you something, yes? Do we make a deal? The pass for the painting.
Imagine someone tries the lifeboat pass in Titanic Voyage. Why not just say, I've got a pass to the boats?
A deal. But first, the pass.
So now we've got all the objects again. We could successfully escape the ship. But there's still some people we've befriended we should talk to.
I wondered when you'd rematerialize. We're in a bit of a spot, don't you
I
think?
think we befriended the other guy.
Me? My lord, no, I'm too old and too fat for small boats. Besides, after spending my corporeal career communing with the beyond, I'm not too worried about joining it now. But what's still unknown is what you will do. Don't you see? You've changed the past. You've had that chance. What you do now will change the future. Don't fail. I'm heading somewhere far more interesting. Let those who would stay save themselves. I hope you gave the boat pass to someone worthy. You've changed the past. Now, change the future. Hurry!
Where's the gossip? It's her. That's not her. It's the hat lady.
Leave! I'm getting on that boat.
She's got the baby.
The child's mine. Stay away. I'm warning you.
Can't do anything with her yet. Where is Azuki? Penny Pringlet. We do lose some time every time we talk to someone. There she is.
Have you seen the Astors? My dear, how did you ever miss them? In the gymnasium, JJ was dissecting one of these wretched jackets to show his wife. Horrid. They go with nothing. Nothing. Couldn't be more tiresome. Though white did go with JJ's blue suit. But then he always cuts a figure. The Astor men. Such sharp dresses. Such prizes, as she figured out. Did you see Benjamin Guggenheim? He and his valet, dressed to the nines, prepared to go down like gentlemen.
Don't push. Keep your hands well inside the boats.
Really?
Yeah, so we're about halfway through sinking now, so we got to get moving.
My orders are to allow nobody above this deck. Orders to be maintained.
We should be able to
Last
trigger
thing you need to
Beatrix now up on the boat
go down
deck.
there, I can't guarantee
I think
you'll
we
come
go
back.
down.
It's dangerous down there.
No, you gotta stay up
Quickly
top
now.
first.
If I'm still here when you return, I'll let you back up.
We can go all the way
Oh,
down.
yeah, we can go.
We can talk to them on the way. If we go all the way down, if we go all the way down, we can see Vlad, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. We'll come back up, talk to them upstairs. Yeah, we got this.
Don't turn the wrong way.
Turn the wrong way.
You have found me. And Sasha. Yes. Sasha cared only for himself, not Serbia, not the Black Hand. This is war. Deserters are shot. Like dogs. Maybe you want this. The English Lord's necklace. It is mine to sell. The money for the Black Hand. Then you will see somewhere, sometime, within a month, in a year, we strike. We will start a fire.
Now his eyes are glowing.
A fire that will destroy the Austrian oppressors, destroy Europe, and all Serbs will know freedom. I must leave. I must get on a lifeboat. Once again, I must ask for your help. Find a way to let me board a lifeboat unnoticed. Women and children first is the rule. What? How? A disguise? No. I die like a man. You can get me into the first class? To the boats? What can I give you?
So if we had missed the necklace, then he would have the real necklace and we could get it this way. But as it is here, he's got nothing. We're just...
Give it to me! If I disguise myself, I can reach the boats.
So just, act of kindness, I suppose. But
What
yeah,
a
if we
kind
had-
person you are, saving everybody.
Yeah, if we had missed the necklace, though, that would be our way to get it.
The necklace, the notebook, or the rubaiyat. Now,
Yeah, it's true.
if
If we
you
use
had
the
missed the
gas
real
thing.
necklace and the, if you had missed 2 of the 3 important items, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You can only rescue 1 with the shawl.
Stolen my baby. I was to meet Mr. Conklin, but she showed up instead, demanding the letter. I let her hold the baby so I could get my hands free. I let her, and she took him. She told the steward Hetty was hers. He wouldn't let me follow her to first class. She's leaving with my baby. Take the letter. Find her. See if she'll trade the baby for it. Please, you're our only hope.
Get that baby for Mrs. Conklin. Trade the letter.
Got the letter.
You
Should be
made it!
exhausted.
There's not much time left. Now get up on the boat deck. Orders to be maintained. Last thing we need's a riot. Now get up on the boat deck.
Hope those people make it. I want them up.
She's moved.
You've not found a boat? It seems I shall not see Sunapee either. This
God, he's so
is a
creepy.
test of faith, like the blood fluke infestations at the mission. Unspeakable things. The worms fell even the fittest. We prayed then too, after Mazan and the bearers fled into the bush. Though Emily did not escape God's plan, tonight is another test. We shall brave the deluge like Noah and his family. Does anyone know how long the great flood raged? Do you know?
40 days and 40 nights.
12 years.
Exactly. You are blessed with fortune. Comfort Miss Limehouse. She is in the first-class lounge.
Wait for that.
The boats are full. There's no more room. No more. When these boats go, that's it. We're trapped. We'll drown. I'm getting on, you understand? They'll throw out somebody else. I've got money. I'll give them thousands. I've got to get on a boat.
Stand away from the boats. It's women and children. Women and children only. I'll shoot. Come closer and I'll... Women and children first.
Oh, it's like when you do that here, she's standing right next to him.
He's dead. He's dead. My family, everything, gone. What do you want? He's mine now. No one will know. He'll have a good life with me instead of that penniless girl. Leave. I'm getting on that boat. The letter. You have it? It can ruin us. Ruin me. I'll trade you. The letter for the child.
She is all about money.
Hurry! The letter for the child. Here. Take it. Take it! The letter. Yes, let me have it. What a fool! You don't have a seat in the boat.
This is a creepy baby picture.
There's one thing I need to do with most of the baby. If he's still there. Shove the time for No, she's gone. Back to her.
boats. The boats, I can't find them. Everyone's gone. The officer, he wanted to put me in a boat with people I didn't know. But it's not that bad, is it? We won't die. No, we won't. The boats. I must find the right one, the right boat. The boats. I must find the right one. I must. I can't go with just anyone.
She sounds mild brainwashed.
Nobody's allowed above this deck. Those are orders. Last thing we need's a riot. If you go down there, I can't guarantee you'll come back. It's dangerous down there. I'll try to remember you on the way up. Good luck.
You got him back. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. You did the right proper thing, you did. You got me thanks. Go on. Get up top with my sister and the baby. Save them.
No, Jack, no. Not without you.
Hush now. Hush. There'll be no luck for men like me up top. I'll try me luck back here, in the stern. Get moving.
It's best I be going now. Take me to the boats.
Thank you. I'll not forget this.
It's first class I'm in. I'll never forget what you done. God protect you.
I think we've basically talked to everyone here.
See what I said about moonless nights? These are the
Just
last
an
two
eye
boats,
roll.
2 and 4. Be patient. There are still women waiting. Yes, keep them calm. I'll see what I can do. Look, return here in a few minutes. There may be room. No promises now. Just come back. Don't forget.
Actually, if we wander up the deck this way, I think. Where are the Chris Joneses at?
I guess they've already left.
Yeah, okay. I can look at the view.
It's not a very lovely view.
No.
Oh my gosh, she's over here? Lady, you're gonna die. Did she die?
She's not leaving. Just
Yes, she does.
God has declared the Titanic a ship of
creepy
destiny.
guys.
She's sinking. Down we go. Down to Davy Jones' locker. Get ready. We're going to meet the Maker.
No, we're not.
Remember Paul's shipwreck? His fellow passengers were spared, but only if they declared their trust of God. They did so and were saved.
You're like an apocalypse
Now my
soothsayer
question.
thing.
To what city was Paul sailing? Jerusalem? Caesarea? Or
Oh
Rome?
God.
I don't know this.
I don't know this one.
Give me a minute.
I'd guess Jerusalem.
Stop. I can look it up.
You don't want to get it wrong and have him curse us.
Tim's just staring at us.
He's creepy.
He's so creepy.
Any luck or
I'd say Rome.
Rome? Okay.
I was gonna say Rome.
Exactly.
Okay.
You are blessed with fortune. Share it with the less fortunate. The
Nah.
family's on the second-class stairwell.
At least if you get his questions right, you can see him in the direction of people maybe. It's like one good thing about him. But he is complete. Sequencing of the sinking scenes. If the grand staircase is underwater, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, so now is our last chance. We gotta get out of here.
So you've done your best to help. Quick, we've space for one more. Get in. Damn it. Now! There's no more time. Get in, you can go. Get in, damn
All
you,
these
it's an
high
order.
five invitations.
Tell them we did our best. Tell them.
I shouldn't be laughing. This is horrible. Just in the end, this shit were not the greatest so far. This again?
Yeah.
Pretty hallway. Oh, I thought there was gonna be a fish, but a dead body's cool too. Oh my god, that's so violent. Do you know the amount of energy it would take to swing a ship that size around that fast?
Vlad left the sinking ship without the ruby yacht, nor did he have the real Lambeth diamonds. The Black Hand never got its funds, money intended to finance a wave of terrorism across the Balkans. One of the intended targets, the heir to the Austrian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand. His murder might have started a war. We were lucky. We got peace instead. As for the painting, it left with me. The plans proved useless. In the month following the sinking, the War Office scrapped the proposed deployments in a cost-cutting measure. But the canvas? As the only artifact saved from the Titanic, the painting became famous. Along with its creator, a rather excitable Austrian named Adolf Hitler.
What?
Who makes a lucrative career to this day.
What a twist!
Bringing overpriced alpine vistas to the carriage trade. I left the ship with Willie's notebook. Eventually, it found its way to the Russians. The Tsar's secret police were grateful, and the names Stalin, Lenin, and Trotsky vanished from history. The communist revolution aborted. I didn't really realize it then, but that night 30 years ago was one of history's most crucial. Though the Titanic carried 1,500 to the death, a peaceful world would be their epitaph. Our mission was a success. With no wars or bloody revolutions to derail us, prosperity and progress has flowed into every corner of the globe, bringing humanity a security known only to the privileged few before the Titanic sailed. Today, on April 14th, 1942, I am leaving the service to retire in a world at peace. One can only imagine how different it could have been, would have been, if we had failed.
Ta-da!
Yay, we did it.
We won. We saved the world. So we live in the timeline as the bad ending, of course.
Well, I guess there wasn't just names here in the. But well, no. Where it gets confusing is that you get a list of these names,
But they're not the voices. It's not. Oh, there's the voices.
But then you
Yeah,
get
but
the
it doesn't say
voice list,
who did
but
who.
then you have no idea who
Actually did the killing. It's just a list of names.
Oh my god, you had to click through the credits? Every time you click, the symbols go?
Yep.
Oh, that was a train whistle.
Yep, and then the game closes down. So that was Titanic Adventure Out of Time.
I've seen it.
Classic. And the cool thing about this game is that there's a lot of different paths you can take to. Like, you can lose certain objects and reclaim them later in the sinking. You can use the gas pen at the start of the sinking, which changes who has which items. So I think if we had used the gas pen, for example, Vlad would have had the notebook instead. And then we wouldn't have done that bomb puzzle. And just depending on which items you claim and whether you use the gas pen or not, you can get into a lot of different permutations for the sinking, which makes it very fun for replayability.
If you're unable to rescue the painting before Willie actually gets it, and then you actually end up getting when you rescue Eddie, you actually get the painting from Jack as a thank you.
Huh. How does he end up getting it?
Willie gives it to him.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't lost a painting in so long. I actually completely forgot that was what happens in the sinking with it. That's pretty cool.
You get the painting from the hackers as a thank you for rescuing the baby.
I mean, for a game that old, there's a lot to it.
I was gonna say, for its age, this is a very complex game.
Yeah, and like people can remember how you talk to them, so you could do playthrough just pissing everyone off and making them all hate you. It's like it's cool for how much replayability it's got.
There's a lot of replayability, and as I've gotten older anyway and done replays of the game, the more my knowledge of history has evolved, the more interesting a lot of the deeper historical connotations have become. Back when I actually got this game, I was 12 when this game came out, 11 or 12 when this game came out, and reading through that historical dossier was just boring. Now I read through it and I'm like, ooh, this is so interesting. This is so interesting.
Yeah,
because
I'm the first.
I have.
I'm not that into history.
For those of you who are into history, it's worth replaying it. If you need a copy, if you go to the Titanic Voyage homepage, there is a link that will take you. It's one of the bubbles that will allow you to download a copy of.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's this one right here.
Yep. You click that, it will actually take you to a page where you can download a copy of Titanic Adventure Out of Time, and it will be the whole enchilada, what you need to have to be able to play it. As I see, we have several different languages. Daniel has now also included a link to get Dust downloaded for those of you who would like to play that.
Which I actually have never played that one, so I wouldn't.
I think we had it.
I would be down for playing that one day if people want.
I need to sit down and play that. I have not played it. I am not as well versed with Dust as I am Titanic.
Maybe we can do that in the future.
Also, Captain,
where can you find? Oh, I can share this.
You took the picture.
Yeah, I took this playing the Titanic game. I can share this on the main Titanic Voyage page after this if you want, since people are interested in it.
He did art.
If you you can get it on Steam. It's on GOG.com. Good Old Games. As I said, we have it on our homepage there on TitanicVoyage.com. So it is definite. I mean, if you guys watched and you're interested, give it a playthrough. It is absolutely really worth the time. It really is worth the time to sit down and actually play through Titanic Adventure at a time. There is a lot to see. There's a lot to do.
You didn't lose a life though.
Yeah, I'd recommend playing it yourself. And like you saw, it's only a couple hours if you really know what you're doing. And honestly, I think it's more fun when you don't know what you're doing and you're kind of just poking around yourself and finding things. I kind of wish I could go back and play it again for the first time without any prior knowledge.
Sometimes I just come and play this game randomly.
Yeah, people really like... Oh, I killed some sharks.
No!
People really like the sub-game.
No!
My hull's getting damaged. I can't see the chat while I'm playing this is a bad thing, so I'm probably going to stop it. I don't have it split out, but yeah, if you want that sub-game, it's available on our website. So yeah, I think it might be a good time to bring this to a close. It's been about 3 hours now. I've had fun. Hope all of you have had fun as well.
It was
and
enjoyable.
Yes, you can go and download the game as well through the link we showed you, TitanicVoyage.com, if you'd like to play it yourselves. You got any final thoughts, Remy? Anything last to say?
Couple things. If you get it on Steam or Good Old Games, it's usually pretty cheap. It's not that expensive.
Yeah, I think this was
not
just
as expensive as it was back in '96.
Yeah, I think
and if you wait for a sale, sometimes they usually always put it on sale.
Steam sales are great.
Yeah, and
just keep an eye out if you're interested in.
Probably like under $1 even.
Sadly, the last Steam sale just ended like 4 days ago, so
yeah,
you'll have to
there'll
wait
probably
until
be like a Christmas
fall.
sale or something.
No, they do one every season now.
Oh,
they do a spring, summer, and
check it out in the fall if you want.
And fall, yeah. So around
Penny's
probably around Halloween time or Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving.
Overall, I think what you all need to keep in mind with Titanic Adventure Out of Time is that this game, for what was given in '96, was extremely advanced. They really did their homework when it came to designing the ship. We obviously now have a lot of foresight. We have with the Titanic Honor and Glory team, they have given us, they are giving us the real deal. On our Facebook page, I had a person comment say that he was actually more impressed with hallways that we got in Titanic Adventure at a Time than what the hallways actually really looked like. And I actually have to agree. I think the hallways that they gave us in the game looked a lot more first class-ish than I think it was '96.
Oh, I'm just looking. I'm pretty sure it was '96. It was around then, if not exactly '96, but just like.
What else came out?
Yeah, it's just notable releases, so it might not even be in this list. I think it's a notable release, but yeah, just looking at stuff that came out, like that's like Super Mario 64. Like, there's.
Well, it's November 20th of 1996.
Yeah.
They may not. Yep, they decided not to list it.
But I mean, yeah,
it's a bit
Mario
niche
Kart.
market.
Mario Kart, like, to have a game with that level of replayability and like custom dialogue trees and remembering stuff, like that was pretty big for the time, for sure.
for 96, that was huge. And the graphics that we got out of with the game weren't anything to laugh at either. The syncing sequences were extremely advanced for what was going on graphically at that time. And they made the water look pretty good.
It was
For
pretty good.
96.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
They've struggled with water graphics up until just really recently.
Yeah, it's only recently that some games have been
I mean,
like,
for-
whoa, that's really good water.
For 96, not only do they give you there were a lot of games that I remember playing in that time period where the storylines were decent, but they were, here, there, everywhere. Titanic Adventure Out of Time really gives you a very cohesive storyline, and even the subplots, the Lambeth Diamonds and the Conquering Letter, all come back full circle when you get around to the sinking. It all works together as one cohesive storyline, and they obviously did the research for the historical parts of this. Even though we're dealing with fictional characters, they made them look, feel like you really could have found them on Titanic with no problem whatsoever. And
oh yeah, there's more history research done in this than some of the games coming out nowadays.
But I just think that even though Cyberflix, I think there was one other game release that they ended up doing after this one, and then they ended up folding. But it was not a big game company. So for them to put this level of detail, authenticity, to be able to put something like that together, that speaks volumes about who they had working at the company at that time. And it is, I think, one of, if not, and I'm biased because I love Titanic, but I think it's a definite top 10 game for me from the 90s, easily.
For the 90s, yeah. I put it in my top 10 too, I think.
What? Let me check when this game came out, because there was a game when I was a kid. And you're gonna laugh at me. It is. Okay. Came out in 2000, so it wasn't in the 90s.
Just missed it.
It was a Disney 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. It was like my favorite game as a kid. You could play as one of the two puppies from the movie, and you were going around rescuing all the puppies all throughout London.
Wasn't this game popular? Yeah, I remember it actually being like hard to find in the stores because it was always sold out. I think it sold pretty well.
I never heard of it until I met you. But then again, I had never even seen the Titanic movie until
It was interesting because this came out right before Cameron's movie, and I remember that after Cameron's movie came out, I think this game had a resurgence in popularity because people were then very interested in the subject.
I remember when I picked it up at Walmart, it was either Walmart or Kmart where I got the game, and FYI, this was, I believe the rating on it was teen. My mom actually had to buy it for me, but it was worth it. But at the time, there were boxes of it. there were, because I bought it right before the movie came out. I went back to Walmart or Kmart to get another game right after the movie came out, and they had it on back order. There were people just clamoring. Not so much, I don't know if they knew what they were getting into game-wise, but because you could walk Titanic. but that is why people wanted this game, was, purely because they were real. Even though there was the game, Cyberflix really went in and started hyping the tour mode for people who weren't entirely sure they wanted to play the game part of it, but they could walk the ship without having to do any, game sequence. So Cyberflix really upped the ante on when they started doing publicity for the game after the Cameron movie came out. They really started pushing the tour mode.
Smart.
And they also really started pushing, and then you could also download. They were not if you download the game now, they're included with your download. But when you bought the game in 96, 97, you actually had to go to their website to download extra tour guides.
Yeah, I think I can show that in this version here, actually, because this is like the base version of the game, and it shouldn't have any of those downloaded. In a way, it's like some of the world's first DLC, possibly. If I go into the tour here, the guides are missing, and it tells you to go download their website. So that was also very interesting and
innovative.
Yeah, kind of forward thinking there.
No, but if you download it off of Steam or off of GOG.com, they actually do it. The downloads come with the tour guides. Yeah. So you will actually have access to every single tour guide that is in the game. And overall, all of your tour guides are actual people who you actually do run into the game. The one thing I think that did surprise me a bit was that even though they're mentioned in the game, you never see any historical characters.
Yeah, I think that was
intentional
design choice. They probably didn't want to show them. I think it's interesting because we have obviously like Third Officer Morrow, who's a fictional character for someone who's actually a historical position on the ship. I think that's the one that blends it the most, but everyone else is kind of standalone, like you said, in such a way where you could believe that they're on the ship and they belong there.
But as you guys saw, it's a fun game. If you're really into the history, especially of that time period, as well as the wars following World War I, World War II, the Communist Revolution in Russia, give it a shot on your own. You will. It's not like Shane and I who can sit down and literally just jump in. There is a learning curve to this. There is a learning curve.
Although,
but,
I did just solve the puzzle that you guys were like, I can't solve it.
Yeah. But half the fun,
we're not all math
when you don't
people.
know exactly.
It's not necessarily math. I'm just really good at puzzles. I said that.
When you don't know just from memory where you're going, half of the fun initially was just the sensation where the game encourages you to kind of just wander the ship and see who you find and kind of put all the dots together. And even in this, there's stuff I know offhand we missed. Like you can find binoculars and get on the bridge. We never did that this playthrough. So there's still a lot of other stuff we didn't even hit.
I know that we did not get up onto the boat deck. At one point, Penny actually runs into you on the boat deck, and she tells you to get below onto the A deck promenade, and you actually
can
get
overhear a conversation.
eavesdrop on Zeidel and Sasha.
And there's so many routes through and so many things you can miss like that. I think it's almost impossible to see it all in just one playthrough. So it's definitely worth looking
I
into.
think you could do it all, but you literally have to know exactly what you're doing on that playthrough and know exactly when certain things are triggered. And
you would have to chart it out, basically. Yeah.
As you guys saw, it is fun. It's a fun challenge. I will tell you that if you fail at getting, I know if you don't get the notebook off, you get a bad ending. If you don't get the painting off, you get a bad ending. If the rubaiyat or the necklace goes down, you're actually fine.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
just
could
if they
lose
leave the
both
ship
of
with
those items to
Vlad,
Riviera.
right?
If they leave the ship with Vlad, then you get a bad ending. But
Yeah.
if you lose them to Riviera, it's only because the rubaiyat and the necklace are funding for, I believe,
The Black Hand.
the Black Hand.
Yeah.
So if they don't, as long as they don't get the funding, then you're fine.
What does the Black Hand do?
So
they assassinate the
they,
Archduke, right?
Oh,
Is that
okay.
his name?
yes,
Ferdinand, and
that's
that
how World War One
incites
gets
World War
started.
One. Yeah.
I see.
And yeah, it's interesting because you can have
The plans,
different alternate histories. Like World War One happens, but not two, and like just weird. You can get weird bad endings in this game. It's kind of funny.
yeah, you could literally have World War One happen. World War doesn't happen. The Communist Revolution in Russia does not happen. But Germany or Russia takes over Great Britain, and no matter what ends up happening, you end up dying at the end of these bad endings. You either get shot, or I know there's specifically one version, if you do it right, that the Germans or the Russians get a hold of the nuclear bomb and they blow you to smithereens.
I didn't know that. Well,
Interesting.
Yep, I think there's a YouTube video where they go through all the endings.
I should look that up. I never knew there was the nuke ending. That's fun.
There's two endings for each. One is where the Germans take over, the other is where the Russians take over. 4 of those, I believe, you are the ones you get shot. And then there's 2 endings where the Germans get the nukes and then the Russians get the nukes, and then all you hear is the bomb drop and you just see a white screen.
Wow. See, I've only ever gotten shot. I've never seen the nuke. I need to look into that.
As I said, I mean, I forget, I would go ahead and pull it up on YouTube and see if there's a search up the.
You can just drag one tab over,
Adventure Out of Time endings.
Oh, that's half an hour.
So if you guys want to sit down and watch that sometime, and
yeah, I found it.
Or you can pull up singular endings.
I found it.
Nuclear Germany.
That's cool. People are talking about their old favorite games. I guess, I mean, well, I've got an audience. Why not? One of my
Nancy Drew.
That's Nancy Drew's you. I loved all the Final Fantasies. They were my games growing up in the late '90s, and also Knights of the Old Republic. I liked a lot too. Those are my games that I grew up on.
Yeah, all those Nancy Drews are me.
Yeah, all the Nancy Drews, Achilles, all of them. How many do you have?
It was a lot. It came as a bundle.
I see.
And then I bought a couple more.
And then I also liked these old Command and Conquers as well. I played a lot of stuff in the 90s. Oh yeah, Age of Empires. I did a lot in the 90s. There was a fun time. Kind of more fun than modern times almost, because so many of these modern games are all just DLC traps. Microtransactions. Anyway, I think we're about at the end here. So
Nancy Drew in the 500 Steam games. Most of these games are mine, I'll tell you.
500 Steam games.
I'll tell you, most of these are mine. We share our Steam libraries with each other.
It's true. Mine is much smaller.
You have probably about 30 in yours, and I have over 200 in mine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's got a lot.
I have a lot of games.
So, yep, I think we'll end it here then. But it's been fun, guys. Thanks for joining us. And I hope
Had a blast.
we've encouraged some people to go play it or to replay it. It's worth a replay as well if you haven't played it in a while.
I had fun.
Yep, I enjoyed it. Cool. So, go ahead and end it here then.
I'm not quite hungry yet, but I'm getting there, so...
I could probably...
I could eat,
I could eat, yeah. I could, so.
But it's not
I
like
could definitely
urgent. It's
eat.
not urgently ending the stream because I'm about to eat something.
Yeah.
Or the cat or someone.
But if people are interested, maybe Remy, myself, and Kelly can all go through Dust for the first time ever. That would be fun, maybe.
That would be fun. I'll take the puzzles.
Yeah.
Pull up a walkthrough just to be safe.
Yeah, we would need a backup like that, so we're not just there for 10 hours. But yeah, it's cool. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Who knows? We'll see. But thanks, everyone. And
Yep, thanks,
we'll
guys.
do something again in the future, for sure. So.
It was fun talking to you, Remy.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yay.
A lot more fun with you.
My pleasure.
Alright, guys. Then we'll see you sometime in the future.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.